Yo guys, how you doing? We're back with Gorzag and Nikkit. Probably just one more time. Got to get these guys finished today if we can, because the next regular stream, which would be Saturday, isn't a regular stream. It's the Necronathon 2 Judgment Day, and there are 4,000 points of Necrons to paint. There's 24 odd giveaways to do. It's going to be an epic weekend, and I hope you can join us. In the stream chat tonight, we've got Snake Plissken, Glass Joe, Remnants, Rebelson, Toomy Sprues, Badrip84, Datsun Des, and Viking XDK. Thanks for the host, Toomy Sprues, and thank you for the host as well, Mr. Des. Remember, guys, this weekend, we're going to try the Path to Partner again. Well, I say again, you kind of, Twitch do it automatically for you when you get the achievement. And we obviously didn't get offered it then, so we call that a fail. So this will be our first attempt that we've chosen to attempt, at least. So fingers crossed. I want to get those 2-year badges for you all. That's literally it. That's why we're doing it. That sounds so dumb, but that's exactly why we're doing it. Viking, awesome, dude. Awesome. You can watch right through to the very finish in that case if you want. Because I'll still be working Monday morning. The Johnsonator, good evening. Akuno, how you doing? CMAT, 1981, thank you for that sub, dude, and welcome to the stream. You want the 2-year badge? I mean, we all want the 2-year badge. Rival Sarah is here. She's jumped in at just the right time. I've got something very, very cool to show all of you guys. It's very cool to show you guys. So earlier on today, the prizes from Rival Crafts showed up. Our basing bundles are here. Here's a big stack. Oh, I just spoiled the surprise. Damn it. It's a big stack of basing bundles. Look at this. Look at this. How sexy is that? We've got these tiny little mini tuft holders to keep your tufts nice and safe when they go through the post. Bitter Brush! How you doing? Thank you very much for that rate. How's your stream? Let me give you a follow. Pretty sure I don't follow you. Let's shut this guy up. There you go, dude. Have a follow. Thanks for the raid. How was your stream? What were you working on? You can work. Nice, Des. Nice. Super good. I worked on some Death Guard and played Hitman. Fuck yeah! Oh, I love Hitman. Hitman's an awesome game. I got Hitman 2, and I've played the Mumbai level like 25 times or something. That's a really good level. So, this is what we're giving away. One of the 10 packs. Summer, KY Mud. How can you not have KY Mud Bum? It's classic. Tor Swamp Tufts. Spring. Straw. Fire. Dark Marsh. Yellow Earth. Candy Floss. And Wasteland. So these are the 10 packs that we've got to give away. How fucking cool are they? All of those will be gone over the weekend. All 10. Courtesy of Sarah over at Rival Crafts. We've also got as well Strata Miniatures. These epic token sets, objective markers, measuring widgets for 3 inches from objective, 3 inches, 2 inches, 1 inch, half inch for in your games of 40k as well. Got 4 of those to give away. We've got our regular end of the month giveaways, and I'm going to be giving away some minis from the Necronathon itself. Oh, God, there's just too much hype right now. Too much hype. Tonight, though, you just bring it down a notch. We're playing Gorzag and Nikkit. We need to get these guys finished. And I've just put some varnish over these just to help take away some of the sheen from the wash that we had on the red. So the first thing I'm going to do is just attack them with a hairdryer. Get them nice and dry and ready to rock. AJ, I took some amazing photos of your giveaway prize earlier on today. I'll tell you what, let's leave that to dry au naturel for a sec. Let me, are they on Google Photos? No, they won't be. They'll just be in the folder. Let me open the photos for this. I'm so buzzing over there. Do the same kind of orc skin. Do we? Do we? Because mine starts with purple. And there is a YouTube video going up tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on exactly how to do that. Here's the pics of the Abominant, Lenny and Carl. That was not bad. There's going to be a lot that are the same, so I've taken them from different focal points to merge them together. I just haven't had a chance to do so yet. Look at that lighting effect. I'm so happy the way that came out. Like, so happy. Burrito! Thank you very much for that host, bro. Hosts are super important right now. Obviously, trying to hit partner. That green just works. But yeah, there'll be a load. You can see these, they're ever so slightly different in focus. Just to be sure we can get everything nicely in frame. Little peekaboo pic of Lenny. This one is one of my favorites. You can see all the light and the shadow, everything coming through. Oh, yes. So much yes. Drunk Mystic, how you doing? That's the paparazzi shot, obviously. And there's that shot right through the furnace into Lenny. Fucking brilliant. Super, super, super happy with the way it's turned out. AJ, I hope you're pleased. In fact, I know you're pleased. But there you go. That's what we have been working on. That was one of the giveaway minis. This one being painted in a lot quicker fashion, but still taking plenty of care on it. So, first thing I'm going to do is work on the camo pattern that this guy's going to be wearing. So, all of the reddish brown that we've got going on here is going to be a red jumpsuit. Rival Sarah with the host. Absolute superstar. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit a la Ali G with the whole 90s shit camo pattern that we're going to put on here. So, gonna be good. Right, let's get to it. So we've got some red. Pop that on our palette. I'm going to thin this down. Add a tiny amount of black as well. I'm going to do 2 pass highlights. First one, slightly desaturated red. Second one, much more in-your-face red. To give us a nice all-over red on this guy. Then we'll come in with some Inky by Darkness and start building up our camo pattern on it from there using a bright blue. Mr. Mohawk, how you doing? This is Acold. I'm doing really well, dude. Getting prepped for this weekend. Tomorrow, all I've got to do is undercoat 4,000 points of Necrons. That's it. That's all I've got to do. Everything else is done. Everything's magnetized. Everything's assembled. All we've got to do now is undercoat 4,000 points of it, and then I can paint some Blood Angels for the rest of the day. We're good. We're good. Buffalo Bob. Hey, man, my pleasure. Good to have you here. How's things? So, keeping this relatively thin. And then we'll just start hitting a load of highlights. We're not working for much of an edge highlight right now. We're looking to just build up the red, get it nice and strong. So I'm going to leave a lot of what we've already done just in the shadows, just the recesses. And this is where we're going to focus all of our viewers' attention in the foreground. But how's everyone in the stream? What are you guys up to today? What time is it over there in the UK? It's just gone 9 PM, mate. Things are chill at home, working. About to grab some pasta. Nice. Nice. What are you having on your pasta? I like how the working was inverted caps, inverted commas there. I could almost see the air quotes. So trying to leave this nice bit of shadow in there. Build this up softly. Now for a similar technique to this, you can check out tomorrow's Patreon guides that are going up. One of which is doing this on grey cloth that we have been painted on this current Blood Angels commission we're working on. There are 5 written guides going up to Patreon tomorrow. 5. There was nearly 6. I just ran out of time. So it took you a weekend to paint 5 minis, never mind 4,000 points worth. Tyran 1986, you just need to apply yourself, bro. You can do it. You can do it. And you need to have lost your mind entirely. So, fusilli with vodka, spicy pink sauce, and fuck me, dude. That sounds banging. Can you deliver? Gonna sit around a few hours so I can try and assemble some terrain without the kitties trying to help. Brilliant. Awesome, Drunk Mystic. Awesome stuff. Some proper good paint there. You see we're hitting these creases, we're leaving a lot of that recess. We've got another highlight to do on this, so I want to be sure that we've got plenty of room left for that as well. This is just going to help set up that highlight. That's how we're going to get a really nice, bright, strong red out of this as well. Bob, you don't have to, man, but it's always good. Working on my own Necronathon. Paid 27 scarabs after 60 was just finished, except for the varnish and weathering powders. Nice, dude. Flat pack sideboard. Yeah, right. If it's got IKEA on the side, there's worse mold lines than GW. So, have some fun. Never make anything so good, but there's a nice local pasta shop next door to me. Awesome, bro. Sounds really tasty, though. Like, I haven't had real pasta in a very long time. I'm gluten intolerant, and whilst I can eat some stuff that's not gluten free and have no real issue, I try and limit that. Sourdough bread I'm completely fine with, and I make my own. So first thing tomorrow morning, after the weekly shopping's been done, first job is bake bread. It's sat in the fridge for a long prove right now. But as a consequence, I try and avoid eating pasta because, oh, it's so delicious. But Moon, how you doing? Viking, terrible pun. That's Gumbalina level pun. Scrub Lord, Jay, can I ask a nice question? Yes. We won't tolerate your intolerance. Be better. Well, get over it. Yeah, I've had some gluten-free pasta, and it's made with corn flour, and it basically tastes like someone's taken a few handfuls of Doritos and then made them a bit soggy by throwing them under the tap, and then heated it up and served you that, and it's not good. So we just don't have pasta. That could be the reward for post Necronathon, though, is getting some pasta. Oh. You what, mate? I knew you were there, bro. I knew that would force you out of hiding. What made you go with Imperial Knights over Chaos Knights? They're flat out better. Also, I've always been an Imperial player at heart. I don't dislike Chaos whatsoever, but Chaos Knights didn't have a codex when I started playing Knights, and they weren't a thing at all. In fact, there was no such thing as Chaos Knights. Moon, that's pretty epic. But do me a favor, guys. Let's not fill the chat up with that. All right. But awesome work. So there was a Renegade Knight index that GW eventually released after a while when people were like, well, can we just play Knights as Chaos? And when that dropped, I played a couple of games as Chaos just for the flavor, just to try it out. And they were fine. And I had the Knight Renegade Codex on day of release. And I played a couple of games with that. No, Moon, you're good. Don't worry. It's just I could see the chat spamming that at some point. So, you know. Sarah, you'll have to wait for my live reveal of that till later on in the stream when we get around to doing the base. Cool your jets, woman. But yeah, basically Chaos Knights didn't really exist when I started playing, and if I'm honest, on the tabletop, Imperial Knights are just flat out better than Chaos. There was a moment where Chaos Knights got really good, but it wasn't that they were good, it's that the meta choices that were on the table favoured Chaos Knights with some soup over Imperial because of the double thermal. So yeah, now you know. Danny, how you doing, bro? Rutang! How's it going? So, sitting housed on Wargaming J. GTI the meat. What? Hey, no worries, Scrublord. So this is the first one of these to be seen in the wild. These are the new Rival Crafts pigment range. To my knowledge, I am the first person to have this, other than Sarah, and obviously Rival Crafts HQ. And we're going to be using this tonight on these bases as a trial run to see how it goes. I get to do the official road test. And so there's going to be some honest feedback later on. And I'm hoping my honest feedback is it's fucking great. I want them all. I'm hoping that's where it goes. Get your mask, bro. It's literally there. Like, I'm using pigments. I need the mask on. Last thing I need is a fucking allergy attack a day and a bit before the Necronathon. That's not gonna be cool at all. But yeah, really looking forward to having a go with this. If we can get pigments sorted from Rival Crafts for forever, then that means all we need is some orchid bark, some decent pumice, and Rival Crafts will be the entirety of my basing supplier. No one else. Main unit! What up? Sarah's confident. Sarah, the way your products go, you've got no right to be anything but confident. At all. Right, your stuff is 10 out of 10. So I've got very high hopes and expectations, if I'm honest, for this. So just leaving a really small recess around that knee there just to help add some shape and some contour to the leg. That's our first highlight. We've got one more to put on. As you can see, we've kind of just left some darker creases. If we look at it from below, you'll see a couple of darker areas there, but otherwise nice and quick. Nothing crazy. Get some paste, sniff some pigment. Brilliant. Oh, get some pasta, sniff some pigment. Yeah, I know, right? Getting there. Sarah, I know you are, sweetheart. I'm going to keep giving you the nudge, though, because, like I said, if I can get everything down to, here's my bases. Everything I use on the bases, apart from the paint, is from Rival Crafts. Then we're golden, you know. And are you allowed to talk about your other thing yet? Is that on the list of approved topics? Or is it still a secret? I mean, just going to point out you've always had the official basing supplier of Mopop Miniatures seal of approval. Right, that was a mix of black and red. Now it's just going with red. It's super simple, this way of painting. Just going to mix a little more red into what we've just done. So we've got somewhere for some edge highlights. Great Catwood in crazy times after my new proposition. We're having a massive new overhaul of amazing new basing pots in lids and better labelling, so better sort of transition. We can inconsistencies over the next few weeks. Well, as someone that until very recently was still using the bags, like the little, like the drug dealer sized Ziploc bags. Like, everyone knows what I mean by that, right? Someone that was still using those for basing material, I'm sure people can handle that, because the pots, these make my life so much easier. See, I think Moon knows what I'm talking about, but possibly a bit too well. There you go, super red. Very easy, very quick. Base those pigment pots in various sizes. Ooh. Yeah, white pigment powder. That's the one. Those bags were cringe. Fucking hell. Trying to just sort of reach in and grab a little bit of sand to sprinkle on something was a pain in the ass. I know, Moon. I thought about saying like what it would be, and I thought, I don't know if I'm gonna end up doxing you, like, even a little bit. So I suddenly decided to stop, which might have been worse than leaving that as a sort of pregnant pause hanging in the air. Of Alright. God, I'm so looking forward to the weekend. I really am. Mr. Enigma! 4 months now, bro. Has it only been 4 months? Has it only been 4 months? My God. Fantastic, dude. Thank you for that sub. Much love, brother. How myself using those, but I let down my company some time drive for getting my mates on those better pots, and I found it even better. What you have, this is quite cool. It's slick. I like it. Big fan. Like, these are cool. And so one thing I really like about these is they stack, which means when they go in the drawers here, pull the drawer open and they're not like slid everywhere. So I really like that about those. So for a more like industrial operation like we've got going on here, and we have like bulk of your supply, we're good. Also, by the way, everyone, like these 3 pots, okay, have been used on a load of minis that I've done for a Dark Angels army, a load of minis that I've done for a couple of small commissions and giveaways. Now 4,000 points of Necrons, as you can see, like all of that little aggregate is on there. Look how much is still in these pots. You know, that's not an inconsiderate amount of stuff, considering the amount of minis that we've put this on. Like, this stuff stretches. It's got a lot of material in that small pot. I am very impressed. Nightmare, how you doing? Mr. Emir, hey, it's honestly no problem, dude. Like, as always, look after yourself first. Come and join the stream later. Like, everyone's got shit to go through, especially now. I think most of us are used to the whole, like, COVID thing, but we all get situations that crop up that, because you can't just do the normal thing, it's become harder. So, don't worry. Kets, I saw your hello, by the way. Crownblade, how you doing as well? Glass Joe says, I need the bricks. The bricks are great, dude. I think I got these off Amazon. I have a Chaos Lumineth Realm Lord army in the planning. A Chaos version. No, those, that pot's just for pigment. Sarah, what's the weight on the pigment, by the way? I don't have scales that are accurate enough to just, like, weigh powder. 350, brilliant. Yeah, I'm just trying to work out what the, like, what amount of pigment is in there in comparison to, like, the Forge Rod pots that I've got and the Cromlech and the MiG ammo ones and so on. Because that looks like it's got a fair amount more in it than the sort of stand-up pots. Because it's wider as well. I don't know. Pot's 25 mil, but apparently trading reg state allowed to sell it by the mil, so we sell it by the gram. Yes. Okay. And it's probably comparable. So it's going to be around at least 20 grams, then we'll say. So if that pot could hold 25 mil, probably about 20 grams of that. Let's have a quick look at the bigger pots, which are Vallejo. That is sold in milliliters, but I'm guessing maybe because they're Spanish, they get away with it. That's a weird one. So it's smaller than that, but they're massive. The Forge Rod ones are 12 grams, so that's about half the size. And the MiG ammo ones are 35 mil as well. Mil, but again, Espanol, so. Okie doke. Can I be brutal? I didn't weigh it, I just filled it for you. That's fine. That's totally fine. Just trying to work out roughly what you'd get in one of those. And to compare it to other suppliers, manufacturers, and so on. You know me, when we review something, we do a bit of a deep dive. No point in doing like half a job on that. So who else is looking forward to the weekend? While I am literally sat here going out of my mind painting 1 trillion Necrons, what will you be doing while you're, of course, watching the stream? Like, don't wuss out on me, any of you. No, I need you guys here. What are you going to be doing? So we're going to be painting along. I know we've had a couple of people saying, yes, I'll be painting along as well. I've forgotten his name, but there was the guy with the pink Marines that was like, yes, I'm going to sit here now all weekend and paint my pink Space Marines and to get my squad finished. Painted some assistance in a few Marines. Gumbelina, legend. Moon says, finish up my AOS Zench list. Nice. Remnants painting more Black Legion. Ban, you're going to be here from start to about 2 to 3 a.m. day 1. You might be here later than I am then, but probably not. You'll keep me entertained when I play. Oh, brilliant. Good luck at the poker now. Paint more Iron Warriors. Iron Within! Can't paint. For some reason my bomb wick brushes started splitting. I have no idea why. That sucks. What kind of bomb wick? Because I didn't get on very well with the red-handled one. The blue one's great. Super good. Tyron, doing some Electro Priests. Quality stuff. Vikings building a Knight. Crown Blaze doing some D&D. Hell yeah. Get the Maggot Kid on as well. Saturday's an AOS tourney, so I won't be there. You got a tournament. Damn you to hell. They're dwarfs. Get on with it. Buy and brush us some shades tomorrow. We'll be painting along. Excellent. Bishop G-Man. Awesome, dude. Awesome. I hope you get him done. You're so close. Today's going to do 2 Imperial Knights. Superstar. You're going to start Mortarion. Alright. See if you can get him done over the weekend, Big Brom. It's a hell of a project, though. Tooth Bruce finally figured out his cron scheme, he says. Means working on his car. Monster Within shakes it out. Brilliant. Fish! How you doing, bro? Currently building Chimera. Awesome. They're the blue synthetic sables ones. I like them, but haven't been rough with them. I've been keeping a good clean arrangement after I've done painting. That's weird. Like, I've not abused mine, but I've used it for getting recess shading done, and I've not been too bothered about like washing it very often either. One of the easiest ways to kill your brushes, by the way, guys, is not to wash it often while you're painting. Then you get paint drying on the bristles. It's bad for your brush. It doesn't do anything for its longevity or anything like that at all. So that's an odd one. I mean, they're synthetic. They're never going to be great, but they should last. You know. I mean, they're still dwarves. Yeah, main unit is a proper petrol head. You had some quality car porn in the whip not long ago, courtesy of him. Alright. Let's get another HUD on this bad boy. And then we start painting camo patterns. Yeah, boy! Because why not? Why not? What you think about GW brushes? What do you recommend? I recommend that no one ever buy them. They're fucking terrible. In fact, that's a lie. That's a lie. I will show you the best brush that Games Workshop produce. Let's go to the book. Mate, I am full of grudges. So, this is the best brush that I've ever owned from Games Workshop. As you can see, I haven't got a bit of tissue to handle to clean it slightly. This sits in my paint water. This gets cleaned every week, and this end is a bit shit. At some point, this was, there you go, a medium base brush. Medium base. And this is definitely the best brush that Games Workshop have ever made. As far as I'm concerned, it's the one that's lasted me the longest. I've had that brush since I started in the hobby this time around 5 years ago. It's good. It's good. That's the only decent brush Games Workshop have ever done. Pick up Windsor Newton Series 7 on Monday, size 1. Yes, absolutely. I have used both the others. I've used everything from their size 3 all the way down to the triple O. But honestly, the size 1 is perfect for pretty much anything. Like, the only reason that I replace these brushes is because they shrink. So this one hasn't lasted as long as they normally do. They're normally good for about 4 or 5 months. But I've been painting a lot more because of this being my real job now. I hate opening these bloody things. I always feel like I'm about to fucking bend my nail back on myself opening these bloody tubes. I think you missed my last comment, possibly. Sir Silver Fox says, what's your favourite model to date? The Void Dragon. I love it. Absolutely my favourite. Here's a new version of the brush compared to the old version, like the one that I'm currently using. You see that mine has shrunk slightly. You just wear them out. They get worn down. Sarah's message. Clarify, pigments all slightly weigh differently. She will see 25ml pop, but some may have, like yours, 15 grams, and others could be 25 grams. Very pop will always be full, if that makes sense. It does make sense. It does make sense. Because they're all different weights, different densities. But yes, these brushes, Winsor & Newton, Series 7, size 1, the perfect brush. Perfect brush. Silver Fox, I do play. Not last year, where I was merely the #2 Imperial Knight player in the world, but the year before, I was the #1 Knight player. I play a lot of competitive 40k. That's my chosen way to play. I like the narrative and stuff, but I love going to tournaments. Love that real sort of competitive vibe that you get from it. We're working on a Necron army that this weekend we're adding 4,000 points to it in the Necronathon 2. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. Starting the stream Saturday morning, 10 a.m. We will finish by Monday, 10 a.m. And there might be sleep in between, but there won't be a lot. And it's going to be amazing. It's going to be so much fun. We got loads of giveaways from Rival Crafts. Got some hobby vouchers. We got 50 quid worth of their vouchers to give away. Got some basing bundles from Sarah that she's knocked up. They're looking absolutely amazing. So, got a Necron army that we have got pretty much everything from. K1 Mud. We've got K1 Mud Bum. It's here somewhere. There it is. K1 Mud Bum. And Sarah's fully adopted this as well now. And literally written it on the pack. But how cool are these? These are super, super awesome. A little box. Tufts nicely stored in there in their mini Tuff protector. Oh, mate. You guys are going to love them when you get hold of them. I'm going to do one more highlight with red. Not mixed into anything else now. I'm just going to pick up some of these creases. Draw a little more attention to those. And aside from that, I've just started a Deathwatch army. That whilst having the Deathwatch shoulder pad will not be painted as Deathwatch. Going to do our own custom color scheme on the entire army, so they're all the same color scheme all over, rather than all being drawn from different chapters. And really looking forward to it. I've wanted to play Marines for a while, but I haven't wanted to play Marines when they're still like the best army in the game. I play Imperial Knights because I like the challenge. I like the look on my opponent's face when he realises he's lost to what he thought was an easy army to beat. Love that. So yeah, picking up the Deathwatch, they're very, very strong. Even like in relation to other Marines, they're very, very strong. And I'm really looking forward to playing them. I'm super, super excited to play them. Right, here is Inky by Darkness. We're going to use this to start the camo pattern we're putting on this dude. We might even add a bit of white into this as well. So like a red base, blue camo splotches, and white camo splotches. We'll see. You feel like tournaments are where you go to meet the best teachers and friends you'll ever know? Mate, I've met so many like lifelong friends because of tournaments. Like, legit, this guy's going to be my friend till I die kind of friends. A couple of them are in the chat. So we're going to do somewhat more like angular patterns for camo rather than like the splodgy ones. At least we'll try, and if they get a bit splodgy, then we'll just keep doing splodgy ones. 4,000 points of ATVs? Hell no. No, there's only 10 heavy eradicators in the list, which we're pre-ordering tomorrow. Not tomorrow. It's Thursday today, not Friday. Which we're pre-ordering on Saturday morning, just before the stream goes live from Element Games. Exclamation point Element. If you're going to be picking up Pariah Nexus, then please consider using the Element affiliate link and the crystal code that we use. All of the Element affiliate monies goes towards buying giveaway things for the stream, you see. So this month, where we're giving away the Shock Jump Dragster, the Lord of Virulence, or the contents of the mystery box, that's almost always been bought from Element, and normally just with the crystals and the affiliate money that Element send my way. So if you want to help support the stream while buying your heavy intercessors or your Cryptek, that's a good way to do it. So here we go, mostly with triangles here. Of varying accuracy. There is a US version of Element. It's Frontline Gaming. It's not actually Element, but they do offer a discount on retail. I don't know what their shipping's like, but over there you guys have got like flat rate boxes and stuff from USPS, right? So I imagine it's not horrendous. And a couple of companies might even do free shipping on orders of a certain size. Like Element do free shipping on orders of £80 or more. And I don't actually remember the last time I paid shipping at Element, because normally I'm buying stuff that is for people's commissions. So Viking, by the way, if you want, I'll pick up those Night Armigers this weekend as well. Not Armigers, Hellglaives. Helverins. Fuck's sake. It's been a long day full of editing. My brain power is substantially less than normal. No, I'm not an affiliate with them, but like I'm also never going to be. And if I can help somebody out over there, I'm going to. So, other people have you buy the models for the commission? Shit, I should have just done that. Well, I did mention it. Yeah, it's something I've said about it more than once. But you had that thing with the originally we did a Caladius. Caladius? Caladius. It is Caladius, right? Tank and so on. That's you wanted to get turrets off your buddy or whatever it was. So we're going to highlight these up using blues. So going to mix some Signar Blue base into the Inky by Darkness to give it a very different shade to the red. Then we've got all this to do white. We've got this to do a different shade of white. We've got some denim to go on the back as well. So we've got loads of colour going on this guy. I want him to look a little bit as if he could be like a sort of Somalian pirate or something. You know the first scene in the original Expendables film? Like the guys on the boat? Those. Your final thought on the Pro Acryl, Jay? Final thought is that they're decent, but I haven't, like, the boxes have been buried there at the back of my desk since we did the Pro Acryl month. Mostly because the lids fuck me off so much I can't even consider using them. Jason's sending me some flip top ones. To be completely fair to him, like, off his own back. So we'll give him another, like, solid workup when we get those. But right now, I get so hacked off with the wasted paint for a start. And then the occasional just complete fucking spooge of paint that you get out of those lids. The paints themselves are nice. There's nothing there that has made me think this is replacing entirely this. Like, at one point I thought the black could replace Thramar black. I really, really did. But if you paint Thramar black on something and let it dry, and then paint Pro Acryl, was it coal black on something and let that dry, and then put the two next to each other, the Pro Acryl one looks slightly grey. Can't get on board with that. They've got one that is like a dark blue black, which is a little bit like tire black, but it's not quite as good as coal black from P3, which is P3's blue black. And you can use coal black mixed in with just regular Thramar black to give you almost, and I mean almost, Secret Weapon Miniatures tire black. And anyone that's on my Patreon that's watched or read the How to Paint Black the Cool Way video, or the written guide for it, will know how important tire black is to me. So, do you have an average commission price? I don't have any particular models in mind, but I want to know how much to save up for. On average, a character is about £150. A rank and file infantry, so like a regular assault intercessor or something we're working on at the moment. This guy, about 20 quid. He's nowhere near done. There's not a single highlight and none of the washes are put on. So we've got a lot more work to do on these guys. Character models, about 150. The Blade Guard vets that we did cost more because there's more detail on them. I think these are about 45 or so a piece. Obviously base is not finished. And then things like knights and bigger stuff goes up and up. For a Void Dragon, so a really impressive miniature, you're looking somewhere around the £400 to £450 mark, depending on color scheme and stuff like that. And certain color schemes cost more. But it's all dependent entirely upon what model it is that I'm painting, how we're doing basing, what special effects the client wants, like things like object source lighting, marble, non-metallic metal, which I don't do a lot of because it's expensive, because I'm very slow at it. It doesn't take, some people a lot of time. It takes me quite a lot of time. And so that adds a lot to the price. Conversion work adds to the price. Things like that. They all add up. Cheers, good work. I saw only having seen my fish models through pics. Yeah, all of Akuno's stuff is here, and it's been on that shelf now for about a year, because due to COVID, he was stuck somewhere. He didn't want me to send the minis. We've got another commission just below it now, which is 7 Forge World Custodian Dreadnoughts that I'm really looking forward to. And so I may as well get all of it done and then send it, right? Never know, bro. You might be representing Mohawk Miniatures, at least from a painting standpoint, in Gibraltar. Could happen. And then extra stuff like every single model having glowing vents costs more. Yes. Every single model in that Custodes army has object source lighting on their back for the vents. The vents all glow blue. And on the bases that they're on, because the bases have glowing runes, like magic runes. They look sick. They look super, super sick. As far as an army goes, I think that's the best looking full army I've painted. Because we've got resin bases on everything. I'll tell you what, fuck it, I'll show you one. You ever painted Forge World Mastodon? No, I haven't. It's a gigantic lump of resin, though. So, here's Trajan, because he's at the front. And the Dreadnought's kind of buried by the custodians, but here's a pretty solid example of that. I mean, look at that fucking purple. So good. Yeah, Trajan's head glows. There's a blue light from underneath lighting Trajan's head. We've got, obviously, an amazing looking axe. There's those back glow vents. Also, you can see, just glow on the cape as well. And then this is the baddie lion from the Lion King. Is it Scar? I don't know. I can't remember. And obviously the Infinity Gauntlet he's got going on over there. But yeah, this is the entire army is done to basically this standard. How much it cost you to paint Thraka? Thraka, you're looking at 250 plus. The thing that you're really looking at with regards to commissions from me at the moment is time. I can't take on a commission at the moment at all. I keep having to turn people down. And I feel really, really bad about it because I am booked up until probably the end of October. When I found out I was being made redundant, we took on a load more work and did the intelligent thing, and I ended up taking on plenty of work. Then got an offer from somebody to paint 7k of custodies. I don't mean points. Akuna, I'm putting no one on the list, like at all. Like nothing's going on that list whatsoever. We're going to reevaluate between now and October our business model, and we might take on smaller commissions only. Might take on larger commissions only, but I want the 6 months between now and then essentially to give this whole working for myself thing a substantial go, and things might change between now and then. And so I don't want to disappoint anyone. Like that's always my biggest fear, is promising somebody something, giving my word, and not being able to follow through on that. I was about to say I don't like not being able to follow through, but I figured that would give way too much ammunition to people in the stream. So we didn't say that. But yeah. There you go, that's the deal. Which liquid greenstone equivalent you suggest as GW's pants? Yes, I'd actually suggest that you pick up Vallejo's plastic putty. I really like it. It's basically like resin dust suspended in acrylic medium, and you can just like put that on something, and then just quickly like run your finger down a seam, and that's it. It's done. I think I used that in the Void Dragon episode 1 that will be on Patreon, actually. Akuno, it's all good, dude. It's all good. Right, let's highlight this up. using some blue. Signar Blue base. Going to mix this into our Inky by Darkness. And we'll probably do another 2-stage highlight on this. The first one, just getting some volumes on it. Some values on it. Why volumes came up. And then the second highlight will be just getting some edges to really sort of pop it. Works well filling gaps. Yeah, it does. Yeah, honestly. I mean, obviously, if the gap's massive, so if you're putting together any Space Marine tank, looking right at you, G-Dubs, sort that shit out. Then you might need something that's like larger gauge work, like Milliput or green stuff. Also, don't buy green stuff from Games Workshop. Buy Nikkit from literally any other supplier at a fraction of the price, like a tenth of the price. But yeah, for everything else, it works really, really well. I can't fault it. You can thin it with water as well. It doesn't react too well to it. It takes a little bit of work to get it all kind of mushed in. But that's an option that you've got. And once it's dry, it's not brittle so much as plastic, because it's an acrylic medium. So bought green stuff when I started the hobby, and holy shit, I shuffed right out instantly. So the trick is Dread Fear. Thank you very much for that follow, and I did see your message earlier on, but I was too busy chatting. Thank you for the compliment. Really appreciate that. Jason, how you doing? So the whole like green stuff thing, obviously it works on a chemical reaction. It's an epoxy. It's 2 parts, right? You get the yellowy bit and you get the blue bit. Green Stuff World make a green stuff with a gap, so the 2 are separate. It's about 10 quid for a meter of green stuff, as opposed to 7 quid for this much from GW that's been sat on the shelf for so long, the middle bit is already gone. Make sprue goo. You can make sprue goo. It requires you to have a mostly empty bottle of Tamiya Extra Thin, which is going to take a while. You know. Can anyone recommend good super glue for smaller projects like adding resin shoulder pads to Marines? I literally use this for everything I need super glue for. This is super good. Milliput's good. Yeah, I use Milliput a lot for things that are larger gaps, like much larger gaps. And you're right, you can just sort of thin that down with water. It takes a bit of work. Again, it's not like it takes on the water. But then, yeah, you can use that. Some people I know use isopropyl alcohol with Milliput. Pretty sure I've seen that one used before. And then sort of turn it into almost a paint that they can put on. He's also something about sprue goo, but I'm new to the hobby, so you definitely hear some more tips in it. So basically, sprue goo is you take a shitload of like dead sprues, throw them into a coffee grinder or like a Magi mix that you don't mind possibly ruining, and then you throw them into the bottom of a bottle of this. And the Tamiya Extra Thin Cement is a super, super, super thin polystyrene cement. Polystyrene cement works by melting plastic due to a chemical reaction. So if you add plastic to it and melt that down, you get this kind of brush-on mixture of plastic that you can use. Sprue into acetone works too. That makes sense. It's going to be the same thing. Is acetone one of the main ingredients, I guess, of polystyrene cement? It could be. That blue already. Like, yes. Green stuff freezes well. You just need to slice out the center line of yellow and blue touch before you use it after it's done. Didn't know that. That's good. That's good. Pearl Jam! How you doing, bro? Alright, remember guys, I promise I'm going to stop trying to shill this. We are going to try. We're going to start the path to partner very soon. In fact, should we just do it now? Should we just literally go and click on it now and get Twitch working away at it? Or should we wait for the weekend? I think it's probably best to wait for the weekend, but I'm kind of excited and want to try now. But I also... we'll wait for the weekend. Conradson! How you doing? Find some master batch that's already grinded down and you're all set. Yeah, I mean... If you want, dude. Like, I know I've got a load of empty sprues. Fortunately, my local council authority takes things like that into recycling. So... I can feel like I'm helping the planet by recycling the gargantuan amount of plastic sprue that I go through in this house. Can't wait for a weekend, but some hardcore painting ahead. Absolutely, dude. 4,000 points. I've got this. I'm sure I've got this. Easy, right? All you've got to do is paint. Let's see. Let's say I do 40 hours of painting, which is probably likely. Then you've got to do 100 points an hour, which is one of these every 12 minutes. Fuck! Yeah. Yeah, we can smash that shit, right? 12 minutes in Immortal, no problem. There's no dry brush. There's no Nuln oil. We'll be fine. Got this shit on lock. How do you feel about 9th edition Tyranids? I think that 9th edition Tyranids are subpar. I think that 9th edition Forge World choices for Tyranids are way above par, and there are some players out there right now that are loving Tyranids. They got a massive boost in the Forge World thing. I'm not going to click it. I really want to. I really want to, but we'll wait till the weekend. We'll wait till the weekend. We need to paint up my Necrons, and you showing that Immortal reminded me. Dreadfear, tuning all weekend. You can paint Necrons all weekend with me. 4,000 points of Necrons. The Silent King, Catacomb Command Barge, / Annihilation Barge, fully magnetized. Spiders, Scarabs, Warriors, Immortals, Doomstalkers, Locust Destroyers, Scorpet Destroyers, Ophidia Destroyers, Plasmacytes, Cryptex, Overlords, Plasmancers, Hexmark Man, Royal Wardens. God, what else? What else? Different Cryptech. All the Silent King. No, said that one. Two Doom Scythes. The giant plastic lump that's right there. Oi. So you guys, like this whole My Little Pony thing, you linked me somebody that's 3D printing My Little Pony Space Marines. But if you search long and hard on the internet, you will find some Ultramarines that were converted to My Little Pony way before 3D printing was a thing. Like, way before that was a thing. So you're going to be impressed by some nerd sat there fucking around on Blender or whatever. That's great. But go check that shit out. Right, let's grab. I want to really pop this blue out. I'm going to go for some Lothern blue. Super bright blue. One of my favourite bright blues. Just ever, in fact. Let alone from GW. But just in general. Just to push this up a little bit. That's not even a lot of Necrons. I mean, it's not really, is it? Sergeant Rolf, sorry. But damn, 3D printing and digital sculpting is awesome for being a project. Yes, it is. It is. But my point was that, like, it's easier to do that than it was to convert Space Marines into My Little Pony 20 years ago. You know? Because if nothing else, Fiverr exists now. You're like, right, can you just sculpt some this? Right, bright blue coming right up. Whoa. How 90s is this guy right now? We got some white bits to put on as well, I think. It'll add quite a lot to it. But, he's about 3 times as much paint as me. I only have around 2,000 points. Yeah. I mean, we did 2,500 points in the first stream. Then on a 1-day, 24-hour stream, we did the Void Dragon and a proxy for the Nightbringer. Because whilst I like the Nightbringer model, I'm not ever painting Finecast ever again. Just not. Just be a person in a one-room apartment on antidepressants and then bloody... Oh, God. That sounds horrible. Master Mouse, the intent right now is that there is a break in between. That's the plan. It's probably going to be something very much like the last Necronathon we did, where I'm likely to finish day 1 at around 2 a.m. Last time I think it was 2:30 in the morning. And then Sunday we'll kick off at 10 a.m. again. I'm not entirely certain I can actually stay awake for 48 straight hours on purpose. I have before, but I was suffering from insomnia, so that was very different. And I can tell you now, guys, 72 hours without sleep does some really fucked up things to your head. So yeah, we're gonna have to have some sleep in between. At least we're intending to have some sleep in between. Yeah, please don't do so many hours straight. I mean, part of me just thinks that I could, and there's always a part of me. Always a part of me. Whenever there's a challenge, I'm like, yeah, fuck it, let's try it. Let's do it. I'll beat it. I'll crush it. There's always part of me in my head that is that guy. I don't think it's actually possible for me to be able to coherently paint past that time. 24 hours was hard. That was on 4 hours sleep. And the night before that, remember, so the Friday night, I only slept for 4 hours. The Saturday night, I slept for 4 hours. So I had 8 hours sleep in about 60. So, Mass Control, thank you for the follow and welcome to the stream. Damn, we're at nearly 100 viewers on a Thursday night. Hell yeah! Sleep deprivation, hallucinations, yeah, not fun. Really, just no. These 2 hours to a single warrior, how do you get so many done? Oh, tune in at the weekend and find out. I have ways. You split all weekenders. I actually don't know how I did it. I can barely pull all day these days. Brilliant. Well done, Sarah. What's the difference between Vallejo air metallics and metal color airbrush colors apart from bottle size? Massive. The metal color airbrush colors are formulated solely for the airbrush. Now, we will be brushing them on at the weekend as well, but they're really, really difficult to control. They're extremely liquid. Whereas the Model Air, we use things like the gunmetal and silver all the time. We can use silver later on to highlight all this on our minis by hand. But the metal range, the mecha color ones, They are a pain to use by hand. Like, really. I was scared that my local cult won't like Forge World stuff, so I'm always afraid that when I buy anything from Forge. To be honest, now that GW have rewritten all the rules for Forge World and brought them into the game, I don't think anyone has got a right to say you can't use that. To the point where I think even the WTC, for those of you that don't know, the WTC formed from essentially the ETC, which was the European Team Championship, when the ETC stopped supporting 40k as a game. There were still players that wanted to play using that rule set and didn't want to use the ITC, which is the Independent Tournament Circuit. And so as a result, the WTC was formed. The ETC had always ruled that you cannot use Forge World. And I speak to Tom Adriani every now and again, like really, really, really rarely, and he is one of the rules writers for the ETC. And next time I speak to him, I'm going to ask him about Forge World now that GW have republished all the rules and they are fully Games Workshop approved and not just some gimboid sat in an office at Forge World going, wouldn't it be cool if this did this? No, Dave. No, you prick. That's basically the way Forge World rules writing went. So, AJ, some of the Forge World rules are still very overpowered. Like really overpowered. The current Tyrannid stuff shows you that you can take literally a couple of minis. Like 3 Democarons is a list that's doing the rounds. No one's heard of a Democaron until recently, basically. And now Tyrannids are up there in the meta again. Just because of that. So, no, ETC had Maelstrom. But they had both primary and secondary missions. The primary was based on objective holding, as in, here's your 6 objectives, hold X number by the end of the game or whatever. And Maelstrom is a secondary. I don't like Maelstrom cards at all. So, lines of sight for a start. Bitmap Bob. Sorry, Buffalo Bob. Sorry, your name is dark text on a dark background. It's very difficult for me to see. But yeah, line of sight, you kind of need that. So, right, that is our blue camo. Now it's time to do white. So we're going to paint this white and get some highlights done. Guess that makes sense, yeah. Like, I've had people proxy things before now in games. Because they're trying a list out before buying it. And that's totally fine. I've got no issues with stuff like that. As long as it's clear what the proxy is. I didn't play. Okay. Basically, you need true line of sight from part of your model to part of theirs. And so you obviously need to have something that's at least the right dimensions. Which brings in... Hey, that Nightmare proxy is exactly the right height. And kind of rough dimensions. He's got the stick up instead of the head being up. And he goes out quite wide at the bottom, whereas the normal one is a little bit thinner, but goes out slightly wider in the middle because of the side thing. But I've had someone use a beer can as a drop pod, and that wouldn't have been an issue if they weren't using a Coke can. No, it was a Dreadnought drop pod, sorry. They were using a Coke can as a Dreadnought that came out of it. So, new cover rules in 9th are less messy than 8th. And that's about the best thing I've got to say about it. I disagree with some of the cover rules. Like, if you're going to make... And I'm biased, I'm aware of this. If you're going to make an Imperial Knight or something else that's 18 wounds, it'll be seen by other people through obscuring terrain, then you shouldn't also make it block for them. If I'm tall enough to see over it, or I'm big enough to have like a sensor suite to allow me to detect the baddies, then I should be able to shoot them. I really dislike that rule. I really am not a huge fan of area terrain slowing your movement, especially if you're one of these big things like a knight. Because what the fuck have I got to worry about a few trees for? You know. Buffalo Bob, legend. Snake Plissken, peace out, bro. No, it's updated in red for me. You're good. You're golden. Thank you so much, dude. There's so many that are like dark blue or purple on black. It's really, really difficult to see. So this is some GW Celestra Grey. This is my preferred base coat for painting white. As a paint, it's got its flaws. It is a right sod to get full coverage with. It's just not good at that at all. In fact, you're going to get a lot of brush strokes and stuff. But as a base coat for something else, it's great. Earthshaker Cannon fixes all things. I play Pure Knights, so I can't take that. Tim, good evening, dude. Right. Might finally have time to answer your question from earlier on. Are you looking for a commission to paint Deathwing Knights in a Red Indian inspired Rogue Trader-esque theme? Is that what you were asking me earlier on? Because I was kind of looking at that while I was editing, and the editing took precedence. That was more important at the time, unfortunately, dude. Is what I'm trying to say. So I couldn't really focus on what you were asking, but is that what you were asking? Yes. Okay. It's the sort of thing I can do, and I quite happily do. But I can't take any more commissions on at the moment, mate. We're booked up till at least October. And I don't want to take anything on or even like agree in principle to do some work past that point, because if I do, I'm inevitably going to have something happen that delays it, and I really, really don't want to let anyone down. I think it's great that people are willing to wait to have a commission done by me. That speaks volumes to how much people like my work. But I just can't. Would you pay up a Coke can Dread for me then? Sure, bro. 800 quid. You know, special conversion and everything. You won't be able to tell any difference between that and a regular can of Coke. That's how good we did get this done for you, alright? I'm sure you can understand that. We'll get a scenic base for it as well, which will be themed on an ice bucket. So, mostly paint jobs and commissions. Actually, most of what we do on the stream is giveaway stuff. So this mini was one of last month's 2 miniatures we give away. We give away 2 minis every single month. Last month, we gave away this guy, Gorzag and Nikkit. They came as a little 2-man box. And we also gave away the contents of the mystery box. Let's make sure you put mystery. Which was Lenny, our Genius of the Occult Abominant. Now, the Abominant, I was entering either that or one of these minis into a painting contest. The Amsterdam Battle Brothers Busy Brush Brawl. And they wouldn't accept this guy because it's 2 minis. Anapana, thank you for the follow and welcome to the stream. And so we had to do the Abominant. So we spent 9 streams, which is way more than the 3 that we normally try and spend on a giveaway mini, painting this guy. So this is Lenny, Genius of the Occult Abominant, and Carl, his little gimpy friend down there. And this is essentially a scene that is in the darkness of the Underhive. Lenny has been sent to destroy this furnace so that the plan generations in the making can come to fruition. He scanned in here on the hand scanner. The barrier in front of the furnace has disappeared. The lights have gone green to show you've got access around the energy field, lasering your hands off. And he's smashing that furnace down. And it was a project doing a lot of object source lighting, as you can see. The entire thing was all based around different light sources, whether it's an absence of or different influences, red, green, much more yellow light. And it was a lot of fun. We just got that finished at the weekend. Took all the photos of it today. Rocky! What is this? How you doing, brother? Thank you very much. 5 gift subs being given out by The Rock. And I actually add these in because I copied... I did all of the subs earlier on. So we've got subs for Dave Egg. There's some meeps for you. Jet367. Berserk. All of you guys, exclamation point win and exclamation point mystery to see why it's always a good idea to be a subscriber here in this channel. Berserk, damn man, you need to spend your meeps. 51k. Let's make it Orky getting a sub. She's a cool streamer. Go and check her out. I know she did a long stream last weekend. And Wraith 1 UK, my current Blood Angels client. Painting them up for him. Boom, there you go. There's no rush whenever you get the time. They're never going to see a tabletop. P.S. May want the... Oh, I may want the old school chapter on bike as well. No, I need the new one. Definitely need the new one. Need for thanks. Definitely need for thanks, mate. Your support is always appreciated. Gonna hit that 500. Are you fuck? Oh god, you might. Jesus, Rocky. BP Becker. AJ, any tips on painting rotten Nurgle skin? Rotten like dead and grey, or like inflamed and red and pink and purple and stuff like that? How'd you have it envisaged? MC, what up, dude? How you doing? Like it's gross, but when I did both of the great and clean ones that I've done, I did the Forge Road one, Scabiathrax, Scabiethrax. I googled images and I was nearly sick for rotten turkey. Many moments were had painting that guy. Unbelievably unfun. And you'll find a lot of purples and black and stuff like that. Some like really odd blues. Lethal Styles with the host. Absolute superstar. Thank you very much, bro. So yeah, that's one way to go. And you've got what's a predominantly white miniature at that point, with these splashes of colour that make it look really nasty and grim. And that's a solid way of doing it. I like that way. Otherwise, you can build up, if you do like sort of Walking Dead style grey zomboid skin, which is what it sounds like. Essentially the same workup you'd normally do with flesh. So where you'd normally take like a mid-tone base coat of like skin color and then build a little bit down to some shadows with maybe like a Bugman's Glow, sticking with GW stuff, and then up to maybe like Sickly Skin or whatever GW call their shitty version of it. Instead, go from like a mid-tone grey, go down to purple and up to light grey, and you could even glaze in a little bit of green into that as well. There's lots of ways that you can do it. Depends really on the rest of the colour that you put on the other parts of the miniature, because that will influence your decision. So, a couple of ways. Couple of ways. The whole rotten turkey thing is nasty as fuck, though, so careful Googling some of that. Some of the reference material that I've had to use, that being, like, the worst one, is a little nauseating at times. God, what a gangster this guy looks. Baller status achieved, I feel. Oh, it does look pretty bad. Yes, it does. Oh, not good. Ex-adventurer, how you doing? Alright, don't want to overdo the white, but we'll just get another little stripe of it in here, and then we'll call that enough. So we've got highlights on white to do. Highlights on white is super easy. Anyone that's watched the Patreon video, how to paint white, 3 colors, no airbrush, knows that the next step is use some white ink, but I decided I'd just use white paint this time. Did I manage to enter the Warhammer comp? I think so. Yeah. But I put 300 quid's worth of Sisters of Battle in a cart and left it there. If I win some Sisters of Battle, that's the army after Marines, I guess. So we got Celestial Grey mixed in with white. Exactly the same way that we've done the other highlights so far tonight. We'll start just building up a little bit of a value layer with this. Oh, that was a YouTube one. Yeah, good point. But it was a written guide on Patreon as well, so you know. Same 300 quid of Sisters, only about 7 models though. I mean, we wrote very different Sisters lists in that case, because mine was 27 Repentia, 30 Sisters, Canoness. Maybe Celestine? I can't remember. But it was like Horde Sister. Oh god, some Devastator squads, whatever they call them. Suffice to say, multi-melter spam squads with double cherub is what I'll be calling them. Cassian666, cheers for the follow. Oh, it's just the tanks I haven't bought yet. Ah, okay. Nice. Loads of ad, mate? Yes. It's like Jay's version of Patronus from Harry Potter. Like, I think my Patronus would be an Imperial Knight, though. Can you imagine that? Like, Harry's there and he fucking gets a deer out, and I'm like, bitch, no. Whoomph. Crusader comes out. Daka. Either that, or it would be something like a Blood Angels Furioso Dreadnought. Speaking of Blood Angels Dreadnoughts, we're not going to talk about Blood Angels Dreadnoughts, but Space Wolf Dreadnoughts we're going to talk about. Exclamation point lists. We're going to leave this running all of Saturday. On the stream's 2nd anniversary, which takes place in April, for our 2nd birthday celebration, we're going to give away a fully painted army. All I need to know is what army we need to buy, assemble, and paint between now and then. So, exclamation point lists. Read the pinned post in Discord, and all of you guys should be in Discord. If you're not already, then come and join up. Come and join the community. We've got some really cool folk over there. BB McGill, cheers for the follow. But go and vote for the lists that you think we should work on. One of them in there, which is what got me on here, Biodetic Gaming, cheers for the follow for you as well, is a Space Wolf list I wrote with Bjorn the Fell-Handed, a Wolfen Dread, a Venerable Dread, and some Intercessors. That's a cool list. Like, I'm digging that. That's a list everybody wants to play. So there's that one that's up there. There's a Tyrannid list that's right up there. NMX James! How you doing, brother? There's a Tyrannid list in there that's doing really well on the votes. There's a Tau list that's doing quite well. And if you played 7th edition Tau, it would be a good list. Who doesn't like broadsides, though? Typhus Nurgle, how's it going, dude? Made a change to my Secretary today after your great feedback on Whip. Looks so much better now. Awesome, dude. Awesome. We're going to do a good Whip session tonight because we probably won't get the chance to do one over the weekend. We'll basically do a Whip while I eat, while I'm painting 4,000 points of Necrons in one sitting, in one weekend. It's going to be so much fun. And giving out prizes like every 2 hours, like fucking Oprah Winfrey. Doing good. Had a major fanboy moment just now. Brilliant. What happened? Turning at the hobby room, just found a spare Tyrannid and a spare GSCR. How did you have a spare Genius of the Occult army? In fact, I'd rather not know. I've got a friend. His name's James. But his last name is Muffin, spelt really weirdly. But because his last name has even the barest hint of the word muff in it, we all call him Muff. The Discord link is working. You might need to join Discord and then use that post, actually. I didn't think about that. Muff has played Tyrannids his entire life, and it shows because he has somewhere in a region of like 130,000 points of Tyrannids. I'm not kidding. It's just, good God. Awesome, dude. Congrats. I have no idea who any of those people were, but I'm sure that just means that they're cool. Joe Rocks 3, cheers for the follow. James, all of his are painted as well. And all of them are painted in green and yellow. They're not necessarily like painted to a super high standard, but they are all painted. Now, because he plays Tyrannids, and because his name is Muff, we can only call them the Muff Bugs. No, I call his missus by her name because she doesn't necessarily approve of the nickname Muff. And I don't want to start saying the word Muff around his kids either, in case they ask the obvious question of him. So, no, I call her by her real name. But Muff has a humongous Tyrannid army. As part of his Tyrannid army, he has a shit ton of Genius of the Occult, and decided, well, I've done all my Genius of the Occult in a 4-armed Emperor scheme, and if you see that guy right there, that Calamorph, that was his Genius of the Occult. That's one of the 4 characters I did for him. Zombies! How are you doing, girl? It's going very well here. How's things with you? Let's get a shout out for Zombies, please. Absolute superstar streamer. Zombies, we're currently telling the story all about my buddy James, who decided to start a new army and then thought, you know what? All my Genius of the Occult are painted one way, and I don't like the way that they play anymore, so I'll start a new army. I know what I'll do. I'll start a Bladed Cog army. So just started another Cheese to the Cult army. Crazy. Fucking crazy. Different James. But yeah. Yeah, what kind of madman, after already having a Genius of the Cult army, just goes, yeah, you know what, I'll have another one with a different colour scheme. Seems like a sensible decision. Might to you. Might to you. Green guys are going well. This is the giveaway mini from last month. We need to get this guy finished today if we can. And he's got a very, very cool individual looking camo. Ripped straight out of Valley G, obviously. And the reason we need to get this guy finished today is because this weekend is the Necronathon 2, where we paint 4,000 points of Necrons in only 48 hours. Many giveaways. Many, many giveaways. Some of the minis that I'm painting this weekend will be given away. We've got a Scorpec Lord, we've got an Overlord, and a Royal Warden we're going to be giving away. We've got 10 basing bundles from the incredible Sarah at Rival Crafts. We've got some Rival Crafts gift vouchers. We've got some Strata Minis, Strata Miniatures, tokens and measuring widgets for your games of 40k. And maybe more. Maybe more. Right. I want to do some checks on this. So let's just do some checks. Just one strip of... we can get two in there, it's small enough. Just thin that paint a little more. Might make 20 or so spare outline jackals. You see bikers into Admix Service Raiders from Rusty Cog. Nice. Jay was talking about he's mad. I mean, yes. We need as a holder. Shot glasses. Shot glasses and blue tack. Because at least once you've finished working, you can have a drink. And by that, always get a double. Always get a double. But the hobby holders and things like that, it is pointless. And I know Ninjon, who I have a fair bit of time for, to be honest. I quite like the guy. He did a video recently where I was like, well, look, you know, don't buy hobby holders from like Games Workshop or Hammerhead Games or wherever else you see hobby holders. Just buy these wooden dowels. The one thing you can't do with wooden dowels, but you can do with shot glasses, is stack them for storage. You know? So for me, that helps keep the studio nice and organised. Keeps myself out of trouble a little bit. Stops things getting messy and out of hand. So, pill bottle and blue tack, that works. That works. And drinking more heavily in preparation for tournament season, potentially restarting in a few months. Yes, mate. God, please, please. I would actually commit great sins for a 40k tournament right now. I'd have committed greater ones for one just before the end of the season, but hey ho, beggars and choosers and all that shit. Alright. Nappy Hunter, solid technique, I like it. Have the stupid mini holder for the bottle slash tag, yes. Yes, you can drink from these, exactly. Painting my first on a shot glass thanks to you, although if you got the blue tack, I'd use peelable sticky glue dots. That works. James, I'm always fucking designated driver at a tournament, so I don't get the opportunity to be drunk and winning. Been using Mentos gum containers since it started. I chew the gum, I use them to paint or store basic material in afterwards. I was expecting you to say, like, because it's a thing like this, you chew the gum and then that's what sticks the mini to the holder. I was expecting that to be where that went, but I like it. So don't forget, I've got to highlight all these. So there we go, a little bit of check marks, not a lot. Just want to get rid of that line there. Don't need that at all. And let's do, we've got a face on this side which we wanted to do. Oh, we'll just leave it silver. It's fine. Right. One more highlight on this with just some bright white now. And then we've got to do our denim. He's got a Canadian jacket down here. I've somehow accumulated 8 GW paint holders. I've never bought one. Assuming that things get chucked into prize bundles. Yes, usually. Yeah. Dip my brush in whiskey, vampire red. Nice. Unlucky. Unlucky. Jay, everything I see about sealing flock down includes spraying some water down PVA glue on it. If I'm sealing it onto a painted model, will the glue affect the model negatively? Oh, it could do. Shade with whiskey, just down it and pour another. Exactly that. He's blue type, but the larger ones with ridges. Brilliant. Good lass. Chat, is Xbox like... fuck those. Right. Gravedigger Denim. Let's get our highlights on there. Let's go with... What should we use as a highlight colour? I'm going to mix this up. I think we go with some of the blues. So let's try it with some Sigma Blue base. Yeah, that could work. So what we've done is just mix the two together, thin it quite heavily with water. So we've got not a glaze, but something that's sort of maybe halfway towards a glaze. It's going to get us some really, really easy application. But it's not going to give us any real opacity. And we can get a couple of shades, sorry, a couple of coats of this to give us a slightly different shade between the two coats. But still want to get this guy finished this evening. It is 11:15. Damn, we're not going to get this guy finished this evening. Can't even be a late stream either. I've got to get up early tomorrow morning. Might be a slightly late stream. No, I can't. Not really. I need to sleep for the weekend. Okay. This guy might be the first giveaway mini we don't actually finish in the month that we've given it away in. That would really suck. Don't want that to be the case. Might finish him off stream. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that. Right, Lothar and Blue mixed in with that. Just bring that up brighter. Target number 4! How you doing, bro? 24-hour stream. I mean, 2 of them. Any tips for painting camo patterns? But where it still looks like a solid cloth piece, I usually feel that the paints look a bit too separated, even with thin coats. I don't think there is a good way of doing it, because even regular camo looks like that, just in general. Wu-Tang, yeah, man, like the goth rockers were my favourite from back in the days. The Gorka Walker stuff was good. And the trucks were amazing, like absolutely amazing. I loved them. I think a lot of people look back on Gorka Mortigo with some slightly rose-tinted glasses. And the minis weren't... They weren't as good as some people remember them. They still suffered from the GW oversized proportions part that made everything just a little bit too cartoony. If you like that, obviously, it's great for you. But I always found the ORKS looked a little bit ridiculous. But not that they were trying to. Like with the Goth Rockers, they looked ridiculous because they were meant to. However, I feel when they got to Gorka Morka, they got to a point where they were trying to make them look threatening and so on, and weren't quite managing it. The Diggers were cool though. I had a Digger mob, was it? The Humies, they were cool. I do love the fact that this guy's got what's basically a denim jacket tied around his waist. This guy was obviously based on a Gorka Morka model as well. It was one of the Games Day ones, I think. It's had a jank that I loved how camp it was. Well, alright, fair. The old Battle Wagon. Wait, how old? Because the really, really old one was very cool. Like that a lot. I don't mind the current one. Though it's a bit Battle Bus rather than Battle Wagon. Yeah, the second Ed one was sick. Yeah, I was a big fan of that. First White Dwarf I ever read was the release of a lot of those models. It's the original Gazgol mini. Was in that, the little lead guy with the fixed pose of like grinning at you aggressively. Super cool. Yeah, Wu-Tang, I remember those rules. Yeah. Basically, as long as you could pile them on there and were careful with your movement, it had unlimited transport capacity. Like the old shock attack gun as well, that was kind of cool. It's very, very static though, even for sort of back then minis. The new one is so much nicer looking. It's crazy. There's a lot of cool old models, but honestly, the new ones, the quality is just incredible. GW makes plastic better than any other company out there. For my money, at least, you know. Right, there's his leather jacket. Not leather jacket, denim jacket. Sort it out. Let's get some... Get a quick base done. With some... Let's use this. Burnt umber from Vallejo. Brookie! Hello, matey. Feels like a long time no see. How are you? There's more fun than having my dreadnought killed by frenzy snotlings. Yeah, I know, right? Oh, I just loved the fluff. And there was an old quote from Harry Houdini that somebody said to me when firing it at my Terminators, and that is that Harry Houdini once said in an interview that bank vaults are designed to keep people out and not keep people in. And he went into paraphrase, so is your Terminator armor. No! Suddenly, Snotling invasion. Right, we're using an old brush for this. And we're just going to slap this on. Normally I'd airbrush stuff like this, but just get a quick job done on the base with this and a load of pigments later on. So we want to try out our new world exclusive Rival Crafts pigment. So, need to get this bit done. Nice Orc. Cheers, brother. Surviving. Had some side effects from AstraZeneca vaccine. All good after reboot. Okay, good. Good. Glad to hear that, man. Also glad that you've been vaccinated as well. My other half had some... She suffers from some health issues anyway. Migraines and microfibromyalgia. And, so we expected there to be a couple of things from the vaccine that just sort of hit her a little bit hard. But she had about a week and a half of just not being 100%. Could dry rush the base. But we're not going to, because you don't need to. Dry rushing is a technique that is massively overused and needs to stop being used in a lot of cases. There's almost always a better way of doing something than dry brushing it. Is there a quicker way of doing something? Perhaps not. But in some cases, there is even a quicker way of doing something. Or at least a way that takes about as long, but looks 10 times better. Right, while that's drying, let's grab some silver, get some hearts on the weaponry, shoulder pad, helmet. I mean, Nikkit's not quite being done. Like, Nikkit's been sort of thrown on the back burner right now, and he's going to sit there and chill. Do I fuck Brookie? Don't you dare say shit like that. Last year, I think I dry brushed 4 things. And the in fact, I think every single part of that was on stream as well. He says while painting off stream. Just to show people how to dry brush properly, or how to do a particular technique that dry brushing is useful for. And that was it. I don't even dry brush bases. Alright, shoulder pad. Just trying to get the right angles on this to give us some easy highlights. We'll do a couple of quick scrapes. A little bit of tiny battle damage. Most speed painting, which is kind of what we're doing right now, just comes down to being confident with your brush strokes. So whenever you get something like this, just know that you can hit it and get on with it. Goblin Green Room till death. Hell no. Finger painting a better alternative. That video was fucking cringe. All of it was utter cringe. Like, I get it. Roman did a thing, and let's give it a go. Why not? But it was pretty terrible. I'm not sure what he was expecting out of that though either. That's the weird thing. Oh, speaking of videos and cringe, because this is going to be cringe. I'm not going to get a video made for the Necronathon. Basically, it was an expense that I didn't want to take this time around. And it means that I potentially will do something with the footage myself at some point in the future. And we might produce our own video for the Necronathon 2, which is this weekend. But I still wanted to do all the little vlogs and stuff like that I did last time. and wanted to know what I should do with them. I thought, well, I could just put them all up on Instagram as a story, but then it's like 15-second blocks of it, or it's like Instagram TV, and that kind of thing. And not sure about that. Also, they're kind of temporary at that stage, and that's no good. So what I'm going to do over the course of the weekend is every 2 hours when I take a break, I'm going to record a very, very quick story. It's going to be less than a minute. And it will be sort of personal thoughts and feelings on where we're at with the army and so on. Some of it will be footage of the army, some of it will be footage of me talking, but they will be done as YouTube shorts. And if people don't know what the shorts thing is on YouTube, basically it is a very short, hence the name, video. And it's all based on, like, TikTok, which is, let's be honest, based on Snapchat, which is, let's be honest, based on Vines from back in the day. So if you'd like to see a bit more of what's going on with the Necronathon, do make sure you are subscribed on YouTube and have hit the bell button so you can get notifications that those videos have gone up when they finish processing. No Jay's room. No. Well, maybe. Do you try airbrush or only hand paint? Mate, I airbrush so much. It's probably still only about 25% of what I do, but we use a lot of airbrush here. If you want to learn a lot about how to airbrush, this is definitely the place to be on Twitch. And that sounds super arrogant. But we cut through the bullshit quite a lot when it comes to airbrushing. I feel personally there's a lot of misinformation out there, specifically about airbrushing, and we just get rid of some of those bits of misinformation. Ding ding, YouTube fun, absolutely. In the big stream, are you doing a paint with Jay? At some point we will do a paint with Jay. I've been talking about it for a while, so. Jesus, Wamposaurus. Hopefully you're good, dude. But yeah, still working. Say hi to your doctor for me and remind them wash the hands under the warm tap. Warm tap. Tom Al 180, cheers for the follow. Welcome to the stream. So we're going into the whip in about 20 minutes. So let's try and get this guy as close to finish as we can do by then. And that includes the work on the base that we want to get cracking on to try out these new Rival Crafts pigments. Or this new Rival Craft pigment I have one to try. As they're still undergoing their testing, R&D and so on. Alright, a couple of quick slashes of battle damage, little few scratches. Nothing crazy, just a few little very light, very thin lines on some of this. So, no, they just got back. Okay, who's Jay? I'm Jay. Who's Evolution? Exactly that company. That's a 5-star review right there. Yeah. Let's get his little new rocks sorted out. Thought about doing those with flame pattern on the front, but it's not happening. There's a big old ammo box to do as well. Gotta go. 14-hour babysitting shift starting at 6 a.m. The youngest grandson is 2. Oh, effing G. Rather you than me, bro. Like, whoa. That sounds rough. Kids, not even once. Evolution, pleased to meet you, bro. Joey C. Cup. How's it going, dude? Feels like a long time. Also, can I say a great thank you to everyone in the chat. Nearly 120 viewers on a Thursday night, but it's not even a giveaway, is epic. Cheers to all of you for hanging out. This month, we're trying to push to partner. We're going to press the button before we go live at the weekend for the Necronathon. 48 hours worth of potentially streaming all the way through, but God, I hope not. So huge thank you for you all being here. Hype for sure, Des. Airbrush trap. No. Airbrush, definitely the way. Airbrush good. Airbrush is the king of the brush. There are many like it, but except only the Ayahuasca Evolution. Not Evolution. Ayahuasca Eclipse. I am tired as fuck. God damn, how did I get that wrong? Ugh. To make sure I even had a decent night's sleep last night, and I did have an okay night's sleep last night, I didn't stay at my girlfriend's, which means, for the sake of the Necronathon this weekend, and ensuring that I've had plenty of sleep to get the stream going for as long as possible over that weekend, I didn't have the sex. That's what we sacrificed for the stream, alright, guys? That's how much I love this community. It's tough, right? Not worth, I know, right? We'll see if it's worth it at the end of the weekend. If we fail in painting 4,000 points, I should have just got laid instead. Alright. Get them highlights on the shooter. No nut Necronathon. Honor Sanguinius, you win the chat. Sarah, you don't get it. Well, that's... You know, Steve, it's alright. Coming in there making a scene. No nut Necronathon. Fucking well done, bro. Hope she's not watching the stream tonight. No, mate, she's at home in bed. She's already asleep. She was asleep by like 9:30 today. Rough day at work, but sounds a bit. Best get it in beforehand. It's like going off stream with a loaded shotgun. Dear, oh dear. Well, welcome to the Madhouse, people. You hope. No, I know she is, because she hasn't read my text. He said he would want to sort me toughed out. Look. Just say you're the Baroness of Bush, right? Bush is. Oh dear. It's a highly different connotation now. And, you know. You see the camera angles change, and we know why. Mate, this desk easily weighs like 25 kilos. If I could make it through lockdown version 1 without that happening, I'm sure we'll be alright for this weekend. Does anyone know what this is meant to be on the guns? This little second thing that isn't a barrel. Because I've got no idea. And GW put it on pretty much everything. All I can think of is like an inbuilt red dot sight or something along those sorts of lines. But that's hardly going to help Orc ballistic skill, let's be fair. Guide rod. What the fuck is a guide rod? As long as no waffles are over, all good. Oh dear. The Shrubbery Supremo. Love it. Love it. Yes, I'm asking you to figure out what an orc put on a shooter. But equally, I'm guessing for these guys, that is some sort of a sight. You know? But it's on almost every single gun in 40k. That's handheld. Don't know what it is. Don't get it. Don't understand. Right. That's all this silver done. It is time to start the basing. So. Tight number 4. You're probably exactly right. They've gone, well, Marines have got it, so I want it too. Okie dokie. Weathering pigments. For those of you who have not used these before, I have to put a mask on. So I have a slight dust allergy, which pigments definitely aggravate. So we've got the Bane mask, which we're going to be wearing for quite a lot of the weekend. All of the airbrush portion of the weekend will be wearing this because we'll be spraying quite a lot of metallic paint. So anyone that does airbrushing, I strongly suggest you get something like this. Make sure it fits your face and all that jazz. Pigments are basically paints that don't have medium in them. And there's loads of different ways that you can apply them. For me, I don't seal them. So some people will insist that you need to apply some sort of like solvent or adhesive to your miniature to glue this to this. And it's absolute bullshit. You really don't. Every mini that I've painted for the last 2 years has had weathering powders put on their bases. They've not been fixed with anything, and as a result, you would think they fall off, but they don't. It's only muffled. It's Sarah. It's all Sarah's fault. So let's have a go at this. This is the Rival Crafts brand new weathering pigment basing powder. It's very fine. Very, very fine. To give that a comparison, its most direct comparison, I think, would be winter soil. Which I can't find. Very close to that. It's Farm Dark Earth from MiG Ammo. And I think it's finer than that. So the way to apply them is by taking a really, really shitty old brush. You can see just how much abuse this has had. Right? These are the cheapest, nastiest synthetic brushes I could find on Amazon for cheap. Take some pigment and then just smush it in.
Now, what you're doing is you're kind of pushing the powder into the recesses that you've created on the base by using your pumice and your aggregates, also the aggregates from Rival Crafts. And that will force this into those recesses. Now, it will stay there really, really well because of static and friction and things like that. It's very messy. Okay, cheers for the follow. There you have his dark umber. Thank you. Also going to dust this on parts of the miniature as well, which is why we spent a bit of time kind of speed painting through to this section so I could try this out. Because we're painting this essentially onto his boots. And in a minute we'll paint some onto things like this ammo box, his little denim jacket and so on. Right, I'm just going to remove some of the loose, the definite excess from here. You can see all this floating off. So Warhammer 40k want to watch something about paints, find your cool channel, subscribe. Cheers bro, really appreciate it. Thanks for dropping by. You do your own equivalent to MIG track rust. I hope so, because that's the one I'm going to use next. And that is my favourite. That is absolutely like the shit. So, looking at this, we've got really good coverage. I'm going to give it a quick blast with a hairdryer to knock off any extra loose. Yeah, there's any loose pigment gone. And you see there's still loads down here. If we like really give that a tap and sort of knock it about a bit, you'd expect a load to fall off, but it's all still there. Now, this will come off if you like rub at it aggressively. So if we do that, you'll notice I've got some on my finger. But if somebody's doing that to your minis, for God's sake, stop them and just don't do it yourself. And then this will stay on there forever. You absolutely don't need to seal them down. I have, on my Imperial Knights, I've used pigment on the flush armour of their carapace. They've then been transported all over the world going to events and tournaments, and it's still there. They've played in a couple of hundred games, and it's still there. On flat plastic, with no sealant, nothing to glue them down. You don't need to fix pigments down, at all. So, now let's try this. This will work really well on the base. You can see that this foot is a slightly different colour now to this one because of that pigment. Deck Flow! How you doing, bro? Get some love in the stream for Deck Flow. What is this pigment? Do you steal some makeup from your girlfriend? No. This is brand new, unreleased currently from Rival Crafts. And so far, I'm really liking what I'm seeing. Sarah, you know the previous pigments that you sent? Like the sort of, shall we say, like beta test? This absolutely smashes that. Absolutely smashes it. So now we're just painting it onto plastic. What we're looking to do is just dirty up his boots, dirty up the top of this box, and then also this little denim jacket here. And all I'm doing is basically running my brush over the plastic. Remember, this hasn't been varnished, there's been no treatment on this at all. And we're just painting it with the dry pigment. And you'll notice that that's definitely looking different now than it was 20 minutes ago. So it's working on the minis. It's worked on the base. Right in there, really grime up the inside of it. I like that. I like that a lot. One of the best things about using powders in this fashion is that you take a miniature and you start to incorporate it into its environment. I'm always a big fan of the base and the mini being two separate things and really sort of pushing themselves apart. So you see all of the miniature and you see all of the base. But by doing something like this, you still get that effect. We've gone from dark dirt to bright silver. That's our separation right there. But now we're just introducing the atmosphere that this guy's in, the environment he's in, to the miniature to make it just sell it. No one cared who I was until I put on the mask. I was born in the darkness. You merely adopted it. Don't want that. I want that one. Where's the track one? This one is absolutely. I love this color. It's ever so slightly reddish brown. Does so much for everything. As we get a question about varnish, I painted alt greens and dry brush them to get a nice brushy effect. Should I varnish them? Should I varnish all the minis after painting is done? So my reaction to that is yes. I varnish everything I have with a matte varnish, and that includes not just the minis that I paint for myself, but also the minis that I paint on a commission basis. So minis that people have paid me to paint. However, I use matte varnish because it fits my style of painting. And I really like having the highlights in exactly the places that I've chosen to put them on. And that's why I use a matte varnish. You may find that you want to use a satin varnish, especially if you're using a lot of Games Workshop paint, because their paint has a satin finish. You might think, actually, I really like it in being glossy. You might want to do that. So that's up to you, which finish, which varnish. Right, now what we're doing is just adding in a different splash of colour, aggressively stippling this pigment in on the front of the base. This is to see how well that new Rival Crafts pigment mixes in with the Meg ones. So Sarah, when can people order these pigments? More importantly, when can I order these pigments? Because that's done really, really well. One more test. One more pigment. With matte varnish work on some shiny Necrons. I mean, they wouldn't be shiny Necrons anymore. Is that what you want to do? If you want to stay shiny, then you need gloss. The best gloss varnish that I've used is an airbrush varnish. It's the Vallejo polyurethane gloss. And I mix that with thinner in a 2-part varnish to 1-part thinner ratio. And it works really, really well. So we've got some rust. This is light rust. I'm going to put just a few dabs of this on around his toes. A couple of dots of this. And some of this as well. Careful not to get on the green. Don't want to do that. So here's how you can add weathering to your mini super easily. Well, this takes no skill. Take a shit brush and stab occasionally on your miniature. If you have problems with that, then you maybe mini painting's not for you, you know. But now we're just adding some little splashes of colour to these areas. Brush off some of that excess again. And then, as before, should go with a hairdryer. Now, if you had to seal pigment down, when I blasted this with a hairdryer, all this pigment would have come off, right? The pigment that's literally just been painted on to bare ass plastic. That's it. It'll stay there forever. Even this bit, right here. Super subtle, super light. Things to note about pigments. They make a fuck of a mess. They get everywhere. Wear gloves, use a surface you can clean. Don't use your mum's dining room table because she'll quite rightly murder you. I fully support her decision in that case as well, I think, because you've been inconsiderate and a bastard.
That mask works really well, but because it is face fitting and I have all of this, it's a little tickly right here. Pigments on snow bases. Pigments work super well on snow bases. Check out a YouTube video I did, how to make the coolest snow and ice bases, where we make a set of stalagmites and stalactites out of some UV resin, and then make our own snow base using crushed glass and some liquid resin. Before I did any of that, we put pigments on the base, and then you're putting your snow effects over the top of that. The snow is the last thing that goes on. Think about your pigment as dust and dirt. The snow, when it falls from the sky, lands on top of all of that. So you put that layer down first, and then the snow. Well, I'm going to sneeze in a second. It's coming, I can feel it. Last thing I'm going to do this evening is just tidy up that base with the very essential black base rim. Oh. Actually, let's use just the premix. That'll be fine. So, Dreadfear, we will be going to the Work in Progress gallery, where people can post up to 3 images of stuff that they've been working on, and we can have a look at it as a community. It's one of my favourite parts of the stream, actually. I'm going to miss not doing it this weekend. Yeah, I know that's part of it. Trust me, I'm aware. But it's like when you accidentally rub yourself, and by that I mean like your eyes, your nose, after you've been working with chili in the kitchen. Not accidentally go and rub yourself after working with chili, because that mistake you only make once. And Jackie, if you're watching, the accidentally rub your boyfriend after you've been chopping chili. That one. Oh, that was bad. It's only half made. Get on it. Come on. No speed assembly from you, clearly. By the way, hobby hairdryer, best thing ever. Scrublord, you've never ever finished an army. Ever. Like, factions aren't finished. Steve Slack, is that the other reason you're not getting it? Oh Jesus, Master Max, that's horrible. God, what a bastard. Don't put ghost cheese in a cuttable sandwich because they're pissing you off. Doesn't go well. No. No. Right, there we go. Base rim, done. Look at that base. That base looks absolutely spot on. It's missing one thing. Like when you forgot to wash your hands after eating jalapenos, you can't take. No. You've got that story completely ass backwards, but it'll cost you 50,000 meeps. Channel points to get the rest of the story. Let's do a tuft. All of those are mine for the Necrons, so we'll grab whatever the top of this is. Autumn Fall, Happy Days, some of my favourites. Talk to Chili, yeah. Ghost Chili is no joke anyway. That shit burns. Tweezers. There you go. Or you go and have a wee. Yeah. So even though we've dusted this entire base with basically dust, such is the power of Railcraft's adhesive tufts that they just stick to it. And the base. There you go. That's how pros seal their tufts in. But that base looks perfect. And you saw how easy that was to do. Right? We've managed to take the Orc, put him into the base, and create a very realistic looking, dirty landscape for him to stand on in less than 10 minutes. With me talking about it and how to do it the whole way through. And making silly Bane quotes. You know, this is how you do bases. Take your dry brush and get rid of it. Instead of doing that, as soon as Sarah has these for sale, buy these. This is the way. Which is apparently a Star Trek quote now. Waiting for the immediate from certain people in the audience on that one. George, how's it going, dude? What have we got left to do to York? We've got a couple of bits of like jewellery and teeth, and we've got these little rims on his hat and boots to do. Somebody asked about these earlier on. I think it was Danny. They will be brought up to almost white. It'll be like a blue white to help separate it from things like his little gang symbol and stuff like that he's got going on. Got a skull and a few bits here to do as well. So plenty left to do, but probably only half a stream's worth of work. So that might get done Monday night on the Hellstorm stream, just to finish him off, him and Nikkit. We get Nikkit's base done to the same standard of this as well. Now though, it's whip time. Star Wars quote, not Star Trek, how could you? No, I think it was probably Battlestar Galactica, actually. No. It was Tuck Rogers, well-known space athlete, Tuck Rogers. Okay, Goa, cheers for that photo. No, it does make sense. Right, whip time. So, starting off with the Drunk Mystic. All ready for the weekend Necronathon. I thought it's prime. My next Morrison. Ready to paint. What? Morrison. Thickos, you did get a gift sub, dude. And if you're lucky, I might still be able to tell you who gave it to you. One sec. It was Glass Joe 336. There you go. And the reason I know that is because I input all of the meeps from the gift subs earlier on today. You don't confuse Tuck Rogers with Tug Rogers. Very different programs. Yes, absolutely. Mortison, right. That makes more sense. Use the Force Hagrid, Yoda said aboard the bridge of the Enterprise. Exactly. Glass Joe's almost always in Discord, Thickos, so go and thank him there. Nice work, dude. Got some priming done, ready for the weekend. I like it. Rutang, getting there, having a hard time getting a proper pin wash around the gold flare. It is tight. It's not a lot of room. Got to be really careful you don't get it on the blue. But just, you know, take your time. It's a centerpiece model for any Space Marine army. So, you can do it. Can't have a watch party. Brilliant. Brilliant. Dark Vapor would be disgusted with your lack of knowledge. I thought it was Dank Vander. Is it not Dank Vander? No, looking good though, dude. Like, keep it up. Loads to do. This could still do with a little bit more darker on the recess shades on the blue as well. So, keep going. Oh, mixed gold and plat gold as highlights. Let's get a close look at those if we can. This is the best shot, I think. Oh, that looks much better, dude. See how it's now become a bright gold rather than it just being a like straight up silver. Much, much, much better. And considering the amount of gold on this guy as well, it's really important that that is absolutely nailed down. Isn't the Ward of the Stars like Captain Marvel? Jay Butterworth, this is a very, very cool. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Scythes of the Emperor Assault Primaris dude. So I'm thinking this might be a Smash Captain. Looking good, dude. Really nice blue, super bright, very vivid. Nice job on the white. Could maybe do with just going in and tucking in a few extra shades on the feathers on the Aquila. Primaris Vets. Oh, sweet, okay. Dreadfear, yeah, it'll turn up in a stream, don't you worry. Yeah, good work, dude. Custom printed helmet. Because that looks ever so slightly... Yeah, it's got the trident symbol. Cute. Very cute. Yeah, on the Aquila, just take whatever you've used as your base grey, thin it down, and very, very carefully just get into the lines on those feathers. When you're doing them white, it's really, really important that you get them absolutely spot on. That's a nice little bit of glow. But it's also very easy to, especially with white, because you do so many thin coats, to just sort of push it into those recesses when you're doing your highlights. So, just one of those things. Nice, dude. Yeah, keep it up. Get some arms on there. Chainsaws with hazard stripes, please. Emperor Spears Vanguard Vet test model. Loving it. Right, Lethal Styles. Second attempt with the airbrush after an epic fail on first try, and thanks for sorting it, Jay. It's just a test mini. Started blocking it as well, but struggled with the recesses shading with the iPad Strong Tone. Okay. So, we've seen this earlier on. And essentially what happened was... He said that there was an issue where suddenly the airbrush went from just putting paint on the model to just pissing water out. And basically, it was that this, which is an inline moisture trap, had got too much water in and was allowing it to pass through into the airbrush itself. So be really, really careful when using the airbrush, especially if it's a warm day and your compressor's getting a little bit hotter than usual. But we sorted it, got some really, really nice airbrush shades on this. It's looking good. Now, blocked in, that's not in great focus. Yep, blocked in some bits and pieces. Say you're struggling with getting the strong tone into the recesses. Yeah, you've gone outside the lines a little bit. That's fine. So you can always thin it down with water. And one of the things that I'd suggest when applying a recess shade is actually using a synthetic brush. Sable brushes are brilliant for painters because they pull paint up off your palette and hold on to it real tight. It means you've got a lot of paint on your brush, but you can paint for a long time without putting your paintbrush back in the palette and taking up more paint. However, because of that, when you're trying to paint a recessed shade, sometimes they can dump all of that paint in there at once, or perhaps just more than you want to. That's why synthetic can sometimes be better. It holds less paint because it doesn't have the same kind of hair, it has different properties to it, and you're going to get a little bit more of a controlled sort of feel for that. Don't forget though, you're going to do some highlights after you've done your shading, and you can always tidy up a few little issues. Also, if you just paint your wash in there and quickly wipe with your finger, you can get away some of that as well. The other option is using oils for washes, which are absolutely a game changer when it comes to recessed shading. So that's possibly an option for you as well. In fact, check out, again, I know you're a Patreon member, the Dark Angels video will show you exactly the effect of using the oil instead of using the acrylic. Stinky? Not really. I've got odorless paint thinner. Therefore, no smell. So, James. Here we go. Here's a random set of extra Genius of the Occult stuff. We got the quad, 5 of the quads, then the rock grinder, and oh god, these are the quad bikes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quads, 4 Ridge Runners. Is that the bigger quad bike thing? Can't remember. Nicer, dude. One day you and I are going to have a game. Gotta be done. MC! Tack Warsuit is 99% done. Just waiting on the arm for the pilot and edge highlighting the executioner. The blue bit of hull is done. The grey all needs sorting. How is all of that list 1% of the work? I feel you're exaggerating here. Looking good, dude. Looking good. Yeah, I really like this, mate. Really, really well done. Good execution. Definitely a bit more of that heavy metal style. Lots of drawing boxes around things, but you've executed that very, very cleanly. Very thin highlights. Oh, okay. Cool. What I have only just noticed, which is a real shame, is the gigantic gap down those autocannon barrels. Sorry, right click. It's not too late to sort that and paint over it, but that's a rough one. Great job though, mate. Cracking work. You've put a lot of time and effort into this, and it really, really shows. There it is from a different angle. So that guy is going to be sort of pushing up on the cage as he comes out of it. Scene. Yeah. Sorry, bro. One of the best things for it is a little bit of plastic putty just sort of pushed along the edge, and then take one of these little sanding sticks that I use for mold lines, and then just sort of file away the top of it, and it will get down to the point where it just comes in contact with the plastic and forms that nice seal. But let the plastic putty like properly set and cure, otherwise she'll start doing it and you'll just pull off everything else that's there, and then you've sort of a big gap. Right, execution. Yes, execution needs a lot more work. You're absolutely right. Dear oh dear. Yeah, good stuff, mate. Again, very much heavy metal style, but very well executed. Super clean. And you're doing the right thing by leaving off all the fucking track guard things. Yeah, Vallejo plastic putty is epic stuff. Really, really useful. Technically whip, also finding a box while tidying. Brilliant. George, first ever time using inks, loving this red so far. Yeah, it comes out super glossy once you put a load of flow improver through it. So I'd be definitely on hand with a matte varnish at the end of this process. Also, the other thing to remember is that inks go on extremely, extremely thin, which means that that paint is just dying to get knocked and come off the miniature. So make sure you give these guys a really strong varnish. You might even want to gloss varnish it and then go back in with a matte afterwards if you need to take away some of that gloss. The gloss varnish, that first one, is just to give it some strength. Already varnished? Good lad. Nice. Glad you're liking the reds. Have you... Oh, I don't know if you are a Patreon member. I don't think you are. We did a Patreon guide, how to paint the reddest red. Mikey gave you some advice. Okay, so Mikey's had, like, me teaching him how to use ink. So you've kind of got the advice trickled down that way, which is good. That's really good. But check out, if you can, the Patreon video, how to do the reddest red, where we use red ink over a combination of blue, white, and yellow to give something that is a extremely powerful red using ink. It's a really, really clever way of painting. It's a lot of underpainting, essentially, to give you this perfect red at the end. We did it on Magnus, so you might have seen that on stream. Emperor's Children from Lee. I know these are also for George. Looking good, dude. Love that blade. Very, very nice work on the armor. All that battle damage looking super realistic. Quality stuff. Really like that gold as well. What gold is that, Lee? Your building skills right there. Top man. Well done, George. Yeah, I really like that. It's a very pale, almost rose gold. Top-notch work, as always, brother. Custom mix Retributor, Hasher, Copper, and Silver. Okay, that makes sense. Liking it. Yeah, very, very battered. Very worn. It's a proper sexy purple as well. You've used a really, really nice, vibrant pink as part of your highlight mix for it. I do exactly the same thing. I tend to use the Vallejo Sunset Red, which is like bright, vibrant pink over purples, and it just generates so much life for it. Yeah, the leatherwork. Where's the... There you go. Very, very nice. Top work, mate. Fucking banging. Oh, that's nice. What's that little bit of... Oh, it's from the ORKS thing that he's holding. Not super sold on your OSL. Not to sound like a dickhead either. Don't want to. Just looking at the angles from it, that looks like it's held at the end of his forearm, pretty much at 90 degrees to his forearm. And I'm not super sure about your sort of light bubble. You've got it quite aggressively on the shoulder, and then on like the internals here, and then on the crack grenade there. But if it's going outwards at an angle like this to hit the shoulder quite powerfully, then it might also have gone down lower and possibly be on the knee pad, but the other side where the other grenade is. Certainly on things like the cod piece, maybe on some of the chest and the chest eagle that protrudes just past the chest as well. So maybe a little bit more work to do there. We've just done a lot of work using object source lighting on this diorama that I've done, and It taught me a lot about it. I can tell this is a whip. You've still got some blending to do on some of that, but just thought I'd pop that in there. Still looks great though, dude. Still looks great. Chimo, basis for Lizardman Blood Bowl teams from Grebo, going for Ruined Temple. Okay, nice. Many bricks. Many bricks. I think it's because, like I said, the angles that you've got there are such that if it's hitting the shoulder pad that intensely, then you need to keep that same bubble going. Otherwise, your brain sort of breaks away from it. It might just be the picture as well. Remember that photo was very much head on, and that's not always the best way to look at stuff. So take it under advisement, dude. You know what you're doing. You're a great painter. You've got it. Toony Sprues, lots of building done tonight, as well as a growing pile of sprue rubble. Nice, bro. Very nice. I've got a lot of that to look forward to. Got my Death Watch behind me. But they're Marines, they're much quicker to put together than Necrons, so no issues there. Nice. Get on it, dude. Rezo! Here we go. Look at this. Look at that tree. We'll get to the dude in a second, but that tree is magnificent. For those that don't know what this is, that tree started off life as some tinfoil and wire. Airfoil, I believe I'm okay, but if I find out I'm not, I'll hit you up. I bought a load of 3D printed Primaris Gravis style shoulder pads that I'm going to use on Outriders and obviously the bigger Gravis Marines that I've got. Because the Deathwatch one doesn't have it, they have Terminator ones instead. I really like the style of the Gravis ones, so I've now got quite a lot of extras. But here's your dude. What a great skin tone. And I love that robe he's got. This is so well done, dude. So well done. The scale blues are really good. Adriatic's great. Caribbean, Caspian. They're all good. This is phenomenal. I've really enjoyed watching this come together, the whole thing. I really hope you're happy with it, bro, because absolutely spot on. The Solar Watch is growing. I have got so many White Custodies to paint later in the year. All the White Custodies. Nice, dude. Have you seen the How to Paint White video we did on YouTube? No airbrush, 3 colors, smooth blends, all the way through. It's an easy but a process that takes time. White is never straightforward to paint, but using that, it can just take away some of the hassle. Getting really embarrassed about my painting, seeing who's gone demon with it. Hey, Dreadfear, we preach a lot here about the fact that you should never compare yourself to another painter unless your specific goal is to try and copy their style. You should always only compare yourself to yourself. Are you a better painter today than you were yesterday? You're a better painter today than you were last year, if you've been doing it for a year, and so on. That's it. Just worry about yourself. I really like Sagittarium. I genuinely do. I think they're one of the nicest Forge World custodian units. They are, however, a complete unmitigated fucker to put together because the arms never quite matched up on the ones that I've done. They're always a bit of a bodge job to just get them in there. So the arms are absolute shit. Yeah, I know, right? Solid work though, mate. Really, really solid. The white's quite nice. Your recesses are put in quite nicely. Yeah, good work. Gummer. Working on more witches while I stalled on the incubi. Stupid broken soul gems. I have no idea what's broken about a soul gem right now. But have fun with the witches. They're not the best minis in the range, for my money. They're a bit. Nah. Multi-broken gems. Oh god, really? Oh Christ, that's it. Because they like cut them off of Eldar people. Shit. I still really like these. I really, really like these. Love those horns. Properly good job. Right, Dread. First ever painted mini. Here we go. Plasma sight on deck. That's not bad. Right, so things to look at. Is everything in the right place? Yes. Is there any paint that's kind of overlapped other paint that it shouldn't have? No. And you've even got some highlights on there. You haven't highlighted like the main, like the sort of inner working of him, that big green bit in the middle. That's fine. Everything's had paint on it. It's good. No issue. Please show out Drukari again, please. Sure, dude. This guy. Indrazor Rian, I mean, you can join the Discord as well. These are in the Work in Progress channel. So, ! Discord for an invite. But there you are. There he is. So, yeah, little plasma type was good. This guy. Okay, so, again, all the colours are in the right places. There's been an attempt at highlighting. There's nothing wrong with this, dude. Absolutely nothing wrong with this. Mr. Rian, ask Gumbalina. Sorry. Completely spaced on that one. Right, a couple of things to improve on. If you look at the reanimation orb, he's got a resurrection orb. You can see the odd, not necessarily brushstroke, but you can see where the paint is thicker in places than others. It's always worth just thinning your paint ever so slightly with water. Don't put a lot of water in. I mean, just a little bit of water on your brush, just a touch of it before you start picking up the paint. That will help out a lot. With some smoothness, you'll get a little bit better finish that way, and that way you can start building up some glazes and some blends. You've seen the work that we did earlier on this evening with our orc. A lot of the skin will be done that way, and you can look out on YouTube tomorrow. An instructor guy is pre-painted for someone else. Okay, well, that will not help you out, but still. Tomorrow morning at 10 AM, we've got a video how to paint orc skin going up on YouTube. So stay tuned for that one. Go and subscribe there. Press the bell button and everything else. Because we use a lot of glazing in that video. So you get a good guide on how to do that with green as well, no less. So it could be a good one for you to watch. What else we got from you? Okay, that's it. I think you're doing well. Honestly, mate, you're in the right place. It's just refining your sort of manual skill at this point in time. You've added some highlights, you've added some shades. Try and get some separation. Try and get shades more in the recesses, bright colors, more on the surfaces, brightest colors on the top edges, things like that. Is anything specific to work on? Other than thinning your paint a little bit more, then it would be creating that sense of separation, like I just said. So if you look at the sort of loincloth, for want of a better phrase, right? In there, you've got loads of recesses as the plates like overlap each other and come down throughout the thing. What I'd expect to see is some recess shades inside those areas and then some highlights on the plates themselves to show more separation between the armor plate and the recess. And if you think that each one would have, because it's metallic, its own reflections and lights and so on, then you'll get a good sense of it. If you keep watching a stream, somewhere in here there'll be that mini, but painted in a like purple, orange color scheme. And you'll see there a lot of what I mean about the separation of things, because we had to do that because we weren't painting using metallics. We had a lot more work to do on it. So that's the sort of thing I'm talking about. Nappy Hunter. I'm not sure what that says, but Steam Dwarves. Looking good. Let's just blow this picture up. No, in fact we're not going to. Sorry mate, not worth it. Clicking on links for the stream. I'm sure there's no awful pictures in there, but it could be an album, and the one after this could be boobies. Twitch doesn't like that. Looks good though, mate. I really like the green next to the sort of like warm tones of the gold and the browns you've got there. It really, really stands out. Looks really, really cool. Just one photo? Cool. Yeah, I like it. Good work. Solid work. I really like those blue crystals on the base as well. They add something to the miniature that you just don't really get otherwise. It's a nice splash of colour in what is otherwise a lot of brown and gold with that green in there to break it up. The blue really helps make these look really interesting. I like it a lot. Remnants. Just started this when the stream started. Just some base coats. Ah, excellent. It's the Hammerman. Had a lot of fun painting this guy. We did the whole Blackstone Fortress for a client, and we painted this on stream while John was watching. It was really, really fun. Good to see you getting the trim out of the way first. Chaos Marines in their trim, right? Nice though, dude. He's a really cool model. One of the best Chaos Marine models by far. Right, Thicko Nikkos. Started on both Gulliman and Adrax today. Gonna make my first attempt at some non-metallic metalwork. Ooh. On Bobby G? The fuck have you done that for? Oh my god. Well, it's a good place to learn is the way to look at this, right? Added a hint of colour on the near side of the chest piece, but not the cockplate as grenade blocks line of sight. Cool. May have been drunk when I decided on that, blame the scotch. Okay. Yeah, best of luck to you, bro. It's a lot of work, even when painting it normal gold. When doing non-metallic metal, it is... I wouldn't do it. This looks cool. This is very stylized. I kind of like it. I really, really like the dynamic shadows you've got in there. I know dynamic obviously means movement, and it's a mini, therefore it's not moving, but it adds a sense of movement. Yeah, I really like it, mate. They're super bright greens, though. Like, that's almost Sons of Medusa, not Salamanders, but... Dreadfit, you're not sloppy. No. No, if you were sloppy, I'd have said your feedback is you've got this colour paint all over this area. You know, sort your shit. You're not sloppy at all. You're just new. And we all started out new. That's the thing, right? Any miniature painter started off with a brush in the hand going, I have no idea what I'm doing. And a lot of us didn't graduate from that. And we still have times where we're like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And now I've got to do it on stream. And that's fine. It's learning through failure is the only way to learn. So, don't worry. But yeah, he's cool, dude. Keep it up. Bad trip. I still study and remember. Wait, hang on. Yep, I thought so. Different username. You're both painting the same mini. Awesome stuff. Two very different colour schemes as well. Green's my favourite colour. I like a bit of a lighter green. I'm not a player sensitive colour. I prefer it. No, what was going for the movement, etc. Good. Well, in that case, you nailed it, dude. It came across. Yeah, looking good, dude. Some of the colours here, a little muted. Obviously, that's the sort of more restricted palette you're going for. The blue cables you've got there, I'm not sure. You've got blue highlights over grey, but look at that. And because there's no transition between the two, you've got blue just over the grey. I don't think it's working the way you wanted it to. I'd either paint the whole thing blue, like the whole cable blue, and then do a lighter blue highlight, or at least mix the blue in with the grey and try and get some sort of gradient with it. But you've got this bright blue next to what's kind of close to baby pink. And the two clash quite obviously anyway. But with the grey there as well, it desaturates all of that area and then it sort of disconnects everything. I'm not convinced on that. I think that needs another bit of thinking done to it. Also, quick FYI, there's another one running down his arm to the hammer. Other than that, though, I like what you're doing so far. The trim, again, nice and tidy. Plenty to do. Sorry, meant to do this. Plenty to do, but you're getting on it. Yeah, this is good. Maybe green. I want painting a little bit punk. No, I wouldn't do green, dude. So my question to you is, do you want these cables to be the standout feature on the miniature? Because if you do, then yeah, by all means, make them super bright. But out of every bit of detail you've got on this guy, why would what's your rationale for making them the standout feature for him? Like when I painted this guy, it was the hammer, obviously, because it's right in front of him. It's a big weapon. It's a fucking thunder hammer and a chaos dude. That was never going to happen if you asked everyone that played chaos in 7th, right? But that's what I would go for. That, the face being the second of 3 focal points. And then maybe the skull, but probably more likely to be the wolf pelt that comes down over his shoulder. Because those are like real points of interest. If you put your head into the story of this guy, I've forgotten his name. Hammerman the 12th, whatever. Why specifically would the cables be bright? Let's go for metal grey. You could do. Like there's no like set in stone way of doing it. He's a Chaos Lord, Obsidious Malax. That's it. One of the most gangster chaos names ever. There's no reason why you couldn't paint them luminous green if you wanted to. He's a Chaos Lord on Blackstone Fortress. All manner of crazy shit will have happened there. But just bear in mind that when you are having people looking at the mini, you're choosing where you want them to look. And we've had in the chat here, one Pesaurus, first thing I noticed was the cables, because they're bright and colourful. They look like Flumps. Anyone remember Flumps, the marshmallow twisty sweets? It might just be me. So have a think about what else you've got going on the Mini. But otherwise, everything else you've done is really good. Honestly, that's the only thing that I think needs a little bit of bit more work. Right, Zex, his Silent King, and oh, yes, all of the glowy shit. But Bad Trip, if you want to message me on Discord, you know, if you're just confused and don't know where to go, please do so. Mercurial Vox, cheers for the follow. You're old enough to remember. Good man. I need to find some flumps for this weekend. Anytime, Bad Trip. That's why we do this part of the show. So I'm going to help out if I can. So, yes. Love it, mate. God, you went fucking ham on that lighting. Love it on the steps, the dais, all that. The cables look good. Because they kind of look a little molten. I know they're not, but that's the way they look. I'm not entirely certain you need it on the balustrade as well. Like the banister going between the two daises there. That's maybe a little too much. Everything else looks great. Try seating it together, and then if you can, like they're in bits there and bits here, but I've got all of the three members of the Silent King's triarch on bases, but I could just sit them in on mine and sort of see if I think it fits. You could do the same here and you know, work out if you feel it's needed or is a little too much or not. But I love the intensity you've got from the orange on this stuff, mate. Absolute banger. Don't forget all of the orbs that you've got on the base plate of the, like off to the left hand side of the bottom of the Silent King's floaty palace, bouncy castle. They could probably do with some OSL. The engine ports, they could probably do with some. So there's loads more areas you can put this glow in that make sense as well. Niveus, little bit of touch up and bases to do, but couldn't manage that for whip time. Models are custom warlocks for my Maidens of Isha. Okay. And I know there was a comment in Discord the other day about, like, why did you use your airbrush for the swords? I fully support using your airbrush for these swords. And the spear. I think the spear is what began the conversation. Get such a smooth blend and transition on it. You know? It's a really, really good way of doing anything like that. I'd have also done it on the rest of the Mini as well, though. You know, I'd have airbrushed the leggings and possibly the flesh, you know. But definitely would have done it on those blades. So, absolutely smashed it, dude. Keep it up. I like the fact you've done different coloured eyes for each one. Nice little detail that probably nobody else will notice because they don't have the censored version. I'm not clicking on that. Glass Joe, paint some teeth. Let's get a zoom in on the teeth, shall we? Oh, bro, that guy needs a dentist. Click it, it's funny. No harm. Okay, mate, this is your one and only. Brilliant. Fuck's sake. Yeah, nice work. Yeah, that guy needs a dentist, dude. How/when can we use our meets for tickets? Not tomorrow. God, well, it is now Friday, at least, you know. My head, I've been so tired recently. I actually don't know how to get through this weekend. But we're going to do our absolute best. And probably going to stream for about 40 hours. But Master Mouse, the meeps get spent on Sunday from 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Sunday is when we kick off the voucher contest. Exclamation point win for some more information then. And that's the only time we use meeps. So you save them up all month, and then you absolutely blow them all on one night, buy as many tickets as you can, and try and win that £50 hobby voucher. Rutang, peace out, bro. Yeah, looking good, Glass Joe. A couple more highlights on there. Absolutely banging. Teeth, orc faces, and so on. That's also in the video going up at 10 o'clock this morning, now Friday. Drunk Mystic, got the big guy assembled from start of stream until now. Such an awesome mini. What the hell are we looking at? What is this? It's not Archaon. It's Chimera. Okay, cool. Cool. I don't think I've seen this many. Nicer, dude. What size base is that? That looks kind of chunky. Looks like it's going to be a lot of fun to paint as well, man. Yeah. Loads of cool shit on that mini. Right, that's it. We're all whipped out. So tonight's stream, we did pretty much all of the camo. We did loads of work on the metal. We did some weathering with some powders. Did the base. Did his denim tuxedo jacket, including some weathering to blend that into the base. Did all the white. Loads of work on this guy. Done a little bit of work on Nikkit as well. We'll get these guys finished off probably Monday on the Hellstorm stream. Because this weekend, it's Necronathon 2. Giveaways galore. There's like a giveaway every 2 hours for the entire stream. Minis painted by me, gift vouchers to Rival Crafts, your own hobby store, Strata miniatures, token and measuring sets, some Rival Crafts basing bundles, our regular stream giveaway minis, loads of stuff going on. So Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Come and tune in for that. We're also pushing for partner real hard right now. So during that time, please host, be there in the chat and so on. Now though, it's time to raid. We need to get our raid on. So let's go see who else is streaming. And send them some hobby love. Who we got? Who we got? Not Captain, we raided her recently. Malek, we haven't raided in a while. What was Workshops on? It's kind of quiet on Twitch. I'll tell you what, let's just browse for minifigures and see what else we've got. Green Eyes Creations, that's Missy Studio. She's painting. Might go there, actually. I think we'll go there. Rival Sarah, you take care. Is it Saturday yet? Not quite. It's less than 24 hours away, though. Reaper Miniatures are painting. Well, they're chatting, I guess. Fuck it. Let's go raid Missy Studio. She hangs out here in the stream every now and again. Be nice to send us some hobby love. When we get there, spam those emotes. Get all the meeps in the chat. I want to see them all over. Mystery boxes all over. Do it. Thanks to everyone for tuning in tonight. I'll see you guys this weekend for Necronathon 2. Super hyped. Peace.